smash.
All right. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. So this week we're going to be doing a collaborative effort. We're going to do Freestyle Wednesday with the Down for the Count podcast. So the OGs are here in Alexis and Nicole. Janae is popping back up around. So when she's
I
ready and we have
know.
we
I've had
have
conversations with her in the past month. That's shocking.
yeah. So Janae's
Oh,
not gone, but as soon as we can get our schedules to align, we'll have her come back because we all miss her. We love Janae. So
mm-hmm.
She's working on herself, doing great. She
Mm-hmm.
right.
trimmed up.
She lost a lot of weight.
I
She
know.
looks
I'm
good.
actually I was gonna talk to her about that because I think I might do that Tony Fine challenge.
Mm,
What's the Tony Fine
I'm
challenge?
very jealous.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know where I know her from, but I've seen her before and I know her name, but I'm blanking. But over the past couple, I want to say like week or so, she's been getting more featured on TikTok because I feel like she's like an athlete or something.
Hmm.
But she basically has basically because people are talking about like okay like what because she like just had a baby and she like looks amazing, but prior to that she was still very active, and they're like okay, what did you do to basically, and she was like this is what she used to basically like jumpstart and like get herself in like a good good like health wise, and like obviously like drop a decent amount of weight, and then it's like this very like and she's like oh she's a personal trainer, she's like a
Yeah.
very well known personal
Mm.
trainer, and it's like this very strict but I do also think she was an athlete at a point in time, but it's basically like this is what she did for herself a lot of times, what she does for her clients. And it's like, and I've been seeing people and they're been like it's hard, they're like it's like it's strict but it works.
I'll probably
And
do that.
she like does not play games, and I was like and that's what I'm saying, I was like I need something that's like strict.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's the controversial one on TikTok where
Yes.
she's like telling you, yeah, you're fat, but it's because you eat too much.
Bitch.
I'm not the biggest fan of Tony Fine, but if it'll work for you,
Yeah.
I say go for it.
And there was one where she was like I don't necessarily like or dislike her. Did Mercedes win? Oh, she did.
Mm. I want her to say it to my face right now because I have not had a cigarette since the 15th of August, and I'm about to kill somebody. I really am. Ugh.
No more cigs.
It's so. I've only been doing this since I was 18. But oh, speaking of babies, I know we don't even have it in the schedule, but throw it out there. Congratulations to Brandy and Cody on their new addition. Did not even know Brandy was pregnant, so
Good, because I feel
congratulations
like
to them.
they was able to.
I feel like she
It
had a
was
surrogate. I
able
don't think she was pregnant.
I mean, she was
to,
in the
But
hospital
regardless,
bed.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They have the baby.
I mean, they was able to have their baby in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
that's what matters.
that's all I cared
And
about.
like Cody kind of slipped up because they're like, how many kids you have? And he's like, two. I mean, one. He kind of like slipped up there a little bit. But, congratulations to the Rhodes family. So, but yeah, don't tell me I'm fat
The
because
name is cute. I forgot what the name was though.
it's like
Leilani.
Leilani. Yeah,
Leilani.
it's very cute.
Yeah.
I was very surprised by that name. Oh
Well,
no. Oh, I
what?
thought we got rid of her.
Who is it?
Rio.
Why is she here?
You know I can't
Wait,
stand that lady.
wait, the really little tiny one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because she
no.
looks like a child. Oh, she's older. Mercedes probably gonna drop that damn belt to her.
You know what?
That's
At least she's
crazy.
At least she's over back in New Japan, which Mercedes don't seem to be, able to do. But whatever, here or
She
there.
always
Ooh, child.
disappears and reappears. It's like a fucking ghost. Okay, let's get the show started.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there has been some updates on this Psycho Stu and Raja Jackson situation. Now, it's not a lot, but there is enough. So, number one, if you want like a very legal breakdown of this from start to finish, then you need to go follow David Otunga. He does a good job of breaking it down from a legal standpoint.
He
So,
should be used more in wrestling media, I feel like.
yes, I agree. ESPN should hire him, especially since they're working with WWE. That's
Especially when people want to talk about the contract tampering and all this other nonsense.
mm-hmm.
And I think, Mr. Tunga, and I'm gonna let you get back to it real quick. I think this is what you should do. Again, the Benjamins kick it in. This is what you should do. If Maven, no offense to Maven, if he can go on his podcast and yap about everything, you could go on a podcast and yap, but you also have an avenue
Mhm.
when these people act like they know when they're talking about contracts
They
and
don't know anything.
tampering and
Mhm.
deals and all this. You have a prime target because you not only were in the business, you,
Mhm.
sir, are a Harvard graduate lawyer, so you know what the fuck is going on actually, or can
Period.
decipher what's going on. There you go. I do, if you do this, I do want a piece of that paycheck though. Ain't gonna lie.
I'm just glad
All
he
right.
actually came and said something, but he waited till more stuff came out before he jumped on it, unlike some people in this community. But
Oh boy. So here's the
yeah, no,
deal. Um, there's been a lot of attacks. The LAPD is involved, but they have not gave you any updates on what they're going to do or if there are going to be criminal charges filed against Raja Jackson. But given the fact that there's video evidence of his assault, I don't see why they wouldn't. But the law takes time. It's very, very slow. So we'll just have to wait and see. On a civil side, however, it does look like they are considering filing a civil suit against Raja Jackson for obviously pain and suffering and damages. There is a GoFundMe that is up. This one is put up by his wife. So that is the actual legit GoFundMe. Um,
mhm.
you want to donate, you can. Now, there was a video of the wrestlers from Knox Pro that came out while we did the podcast last time. And in that video, the guy that was trying to stop Raja from continuing to attack Stu, he said that AJ Mana did this on purpose and that AJ Mana had an issue with Psycho Stu. So he essentially gassed up Raja Jackson to go after Psycho Stu. And this was
See,
a
this
premeditated attack.
because if you guys don't remember, he was the one in the cowboy hat telling him, he need to get receipts, you need to get receipts. The one thing I do love about David's videos is that he actually explained, if people didn't understand wrestling terms, he explained it what it was and what it meant and how it should really go down. And uh, you could see the look on his face where he was just getting like pissed off about like the way this guy was doing it. And when he said that AJ Mana was the reason, this is what we didn't know, but as David Otunga said, so don't come for me, that AJ Mana and Roger Jackson were friends. That's why he was there in the first place. Because last time we talked about this, we were like, well, why was he here? Why was he here? Apparently, those two are BFFs. And that's why he was there, and that's why he was backstage.
Mm.
So this whole thing where if AJ had a problem with them and he wanted to use a proxy to go at Psycho Stu, which fortunately he is out of the hospital. He's doing fine. I mean, as fine as you can do for getting hit that way. He lost a few teeth. Hopefully, we can get some of those fixed because I have not heard anything bad about this guy coming out yet. So I'm still gonna go with my heart of hearts that he's a good person. Um, but yeah, and I remember I was watching the video and he said that if they can't get the um the actual thing, go watch this whole thing's on his YouTube page and his Instagram page. That this is at least civil because it's showing right here someone telling him, yeah, go after him, beat his ass.
Uh, well, the situation with Roger Jackson is unfortunate. It's ugly, but hopefully, they will figure out a way to work this out. Not in terms of Raja, but more for Psychos too. Um, the more that they talk about this, the more context we get. AJ Mana being friends with Raja is very, very telling to me. Um, from what we were saying in the last episode, and now it had a lot to do with the chat. Also, gassing him up like you got your ass whooped, you got punked, all this other kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which to me speaks a lot about your own ability to control yourself. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck about what chat be saying. Like, none of them can beat your ass. So I'm so
Yeah.
confused as to how they gauge whether you are a punk or not. That is a very, very childish response. It shows that you are not a man and that you are a child. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to say no allegedly with that because I'm not afraid of you. Because I can tell you right now, I've never been one to shy away from the truth. But if anybody try to come after me, it's chitty chitty bang bang over here. I
I
have
just
no
think
problems
it's just scary
sending you
because
home in a box. No problem at all. I will
there
gladly sit in jail for that.
you would, and you would smile in your mugshot while looking beautiful, by the way. So,
Yep.
um, but here's the thing that kind of freaks me out. Like I know these MMM like guys and girls and whatever, like they can legit take care of themselves. They don't need a 40-year-old mom from the U.S. worrying about them, right? But it just kind of makes me wonder, like if he was in a match, and not just with like UFC, if he was just doing an MMA, I can't talk, style match anywhere else,
Hmm.
and he was live streaming it, and he was, because he's a child of this generation, because I'm gonna call him a child because he is a child. I'm not
Yeah.
scared of some 25-year-old little brat. Like, come at me, bro. I'm not scared of you. I've seen scarier shit in my life, and you ain't it. All right. But like, if he was reading those comments, say because he's a streamer. That's what they do. They thrive off these comments, which really brings up the whole dead internet theory and makes it more and more sense every day to me. But what if he was having an MMA match and he was reading these comments and he saw people calling him a bitch, calling him a pussy, saying you can't fight, and if that's how he acts with a wrestler like Psycho Stu, attacking this man and damn near almost killing him, what's going to stop him from doing that to another person in MMA? Because, like, I know they're
Right.
tough. Like, you're already in there, bare knuckle fighting, pretty much. You have no protection. You have your gloves, your shorts, your mouthpiece. That's it. It's more than what wrestlers have, honestly. But what's stopping him from snapping on somebody in an MMA match? And like you said last week, these guys are trained to kill. So you feel like someone's
Yep.
jumping on you with this reaction, you're gonna beat the shit out of them. And then
Yep.
they're gonna say, his dad's gonna say, oh, he was letting the chat wrap him up. Why are you letting a 25-year-old little boy have his chat get him all screwy like this? Didn't you teach him nothing? Like, is he not house trained? Like, what the fuck did you fail as a father as? Like that kind of thing. Because you can't be going around jumping people, because that's how you get your ass hit really, really fast, man. You're talking about, oh, getting a receipt, bitch. You will get a CVS receipt if you fuck around with the wrong person. Okay?
CVS receipt is great.
It'll be long. Okay? Like, I know we said like 95% of wrestlers back there can't actually fight, but for the 5% that can, and they see you attacking someone that they're close with, that they consider family, or just a coworker, or even in general, wrestlers may not like each other, but they're still going to protect each other. What's stopping you? If he showed up at AEW and he tried this shit, what's the chances of Samoa Joe coming up there and choking your ass out because he see you fucking with somebody in the back? And Joe's considered an old head.
I do believe that this situation could have been avoided if they had have really sat down and ironed out the parameters. But this is a lack of responsibility and a lack of accountability, number one, on Knox Pro for not protecting their wrestlers. And number two, it's a lack of accountability on AJ Mana's part and Raja Jackson. Because it's like this. I can say whatever I want to say, but you putting your hands on me is taking it to a different level.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I'm concerned, you gotta grow up.
And it's the
It's
fact
simple
that
as
he
that.
attacked him. It's the fact that he went after this guy while he's in a match, slams him hard enough for his head to bounce off, and then just started punching him to the point where he's passed out. Like, that's not being a tough guy. That's being a little bitch.
He think it make him look like a man because that is what this generation has taught themselves to believe what masculinity is supposed to look like. Masculinity is supposed to be raging. It's supposed to be loud. It's supposed to be aggressive. It's supposed to be scary. And you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be able to beat another man down. And no man should ever test you. And that's not how masculinity should be. But
I
that's
think
how
it
it
all
is for all of these people.
That's facts.
um so this has gotten to like regular like commentaries on YouTube. So there's like this channel that I'm subscribed to is called Double Toasted. They do like a lot of like movie and TV content. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um there's like this older black guy that he used to work in animation. He actually used to work for Disney Animation like back in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
And then it's like another older black guy. They have like two other white guys that are sometimes they're on there every once in a while. And then Makad Brooks's brother is on there. If anybody knows who
oh,
Makad Brooks is. Makad Brooks
I,
was in the originals, also was in I almost called it Vampire Diaries. Was in True Blood. He also played
yeah.
Jax in Mortal Kombat. When you look at
uh
his
huh.
brother, they almost look just alike. Like you instantly clock it. But
Oh, wow.
anyways, he was they it got to literally, this is how big this fucking story it was. It got to them, and they'll talk about stuff every once in a while, like random shit like this, when it's not to deal with like TV and movies, once like they like hear wind of it. And they were just talking about, and they really did like they did like a really really good big breakdown of it, because again, they don't know wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Right.
actually did two different videos about this. And he was saying that he was able to really listen to him as he was, clips of when he was leaving and when Raja was leaving after an incident. And he said that there's one thing that he noticed is he said something like Raja said something that in a sense of like, oh well, something about my dad, or my dad won't think I'm a bitch, or something around like that spear. And it was
Hmm.
basically talking about toxic masculinity, and like especially how masculinity become toxic, not only with that but also being like a black male, feel like you have to perform and you have to do all this and I have to do all this tough guy stuff, when he was like it's not necessary. So I think there's also, not to let AJ Minna off the hooks. I think it's also, I think his upbringing is a lot of them. Obviously he probably has a fucking CTE, because they said his, in like his dad's one statement said that he had a concussion from like other like from like a couple days prior. So it's like a lot that goes into it.
I agree.
I I mean, I hate seeing the toxic masculinity. Like, you can be a tough guy, but still be a sensitive guy, right? Like, y'all seen my husband. He literally looks like Kevin Owens. He's a big dude. And everyone thinks when they first see him, he's this really aggressive guy. But honestly, he's like the most chill, laid back guy you've ever met. I've been with my husband for 15 years. I've known him longer than that. And the time that we've been together, I've only seen him lose his shit like 3 times. And it was for actual reasons. One, because he was fighting his stepdad. Um, and the other two was because someone was trying to start shit with me. So, I don't like it. I don't like this as like the mother to a daughter, that this is like being seen as normal. And then it's just behavior like this, like CTE aside, because that's a whole nother issue. If you knew your kid had CTE and he possibly had a concussion, why were you letting him run around unsupervised? Like, I hate to say it like that, but why were you letting him do whatever without, being at home and doing what you need to do when you're under like a concussion protocol kind of thing? Why are you letting him run around doing this kind of shit, much less even getting next to a wrestling ring?
Well, to give you
And
some context, as far as Raja Jackson and his father, he said Rampage said it himself that Raja Jackson, out of all his children, was probably going to be the one to go to jail and not be the one to go to college.
well, that's great to say
This
about
was
your
his
fucking
assessment. His assessment of his own kid. He said he understood very early on how Raja operated. He was always very angry and he had a lot of aggression, very similar to him. Um, but he said out of all of his kids, the ones that he knew were going to go to college and, make something of themselves in terms of productiveness in this world, he knew Raja wasn't going to be one of them. He knew that Raja was gonna be hard to conform, and he had a lot of anger in him, which he did say that he had tried very hard to get him to go to therapy to work on or whatever, and Raja is defiant. So obviously there is some past trauma there that has nothing to do with MMA or any of that, but it has a lot to do with the way Quentin um raised his child. Um I won't blame everything on him because we don't know. Like
right.
that's the only thing I can tell you is like we don't know. All we know is what he says. And at this point, there's no more blame because you're an adult. So you have the choice to fix what is going on with you and move in a way that makes you happy and not always be plagued by your trauma. So the choices you make are yours and yours alone. I don't see how his father has to be responsible. He's 25 years old. He's a grown man. No, he needs to get himself together. And if this ain't the only way, if this is the way to wake his ass up, then so be it. Because just because you can fight doesn't mean you should. And it's just that simple. And we're going to move on because as long as Psycho Stu is okay and he's recovering, which he is, he did have a lot of facial fractures. That man's face is tore up and he lost a lot of teeth. So he's at home, he's recovering, he has his wife and his family and a lot of his friends and a lot of the wrestling community from every promotion that I've seen has either donated or said something in regards to him, and they have rallied around him to protect him. Now, the side stuff that's happening on this, Mark Henry and several other people are being attacked, being called racist. JBL came out to their defense today on his social media and the podcast that he's on. He said Mark Henry couldn't be further from the truth he said it couldn't be further from the truth to call Mark Henry a racist. He also said that He doesn't like when people don't like the conversation that's being had and they immediately go to, oh, you're racist because they don't like what's being said. He said he doesn't like that. He said, if you can't have conversations where they're hard conversations for you or conversations where you disagree, then he said you need to remove yourself from the conversation. To that, I say he is correct. Not every conversation when somebody disagrees has to do with racism. I don't think Mark Henry a racist. I just think he wrong a lot. And in this case, I think he's wrong for blaming it on Psycho Stu, especially when they was able to get Raja to understand that it was a work. He wasn't trying to attack him on purpose. He was being a bit of a douchebag. And he was like, yo, man, I apologize if I went a little too far. I was just, you know, trying to hype up the live stream and make it a little bit more interesting, but I apologize. Raj just said, cool. You know, we good. They dapped it up. So for it to go from that to him damn near killing him is batshit bonkers. Don't know how that could be Psycho Stu's fault in any way, shape, or form. But hopefully we'll see if they decide to file a lawsuit against this man and he go to jail. Not only is he gonna be sitting in the jail cell, but he gonna be broke too.
Mm-hmm.
Consequences of your actions, baby. That's all I can tell you. All right. AEW's All Out goes live on HBO Max. Now, everybody seems to be excited about this, but I don't think y'all should get y'all hopes up too much. You see, when AEW put their PLEs on the HBO platform, it is not going to be included in your subscription. Let me reiterate. It is not included in your subscription. HBO subscribers will be able to watch the PLEs for $39.99 plus your $9.99 a month subscription fee.
You might as well buy also Fight TV for all that shit, so or Triller, whatever.
So essentially, what you're getting is a slight discount on the PLE because it's on the HBO Max platform. Now, you have to ask yourself why this is. Well, AEW silly asses gave Amazon Prime the right to stream their PLEs on their platform as well. So you can't put the subscribers on HBO Max with just getting a PLE every week, every month, because people are going to flock to HBO Max. They're not going to go to Amazon Prime. So they can't undercut them too much. And technically they aren't, because even though you're only paying $39.99 for the PLE initially, you're still paying $40 to $50 plus tax and fees because you're paying $9.99 a month for your PLE. I mean, for your regular HBO Max stuff.
Tony, I want you, I know you're listening because I know you listen to our show. I know you do. I want you to bring your phone as close to your ear because I want you to fucking hear me. Okay? Do you have it next to your ear? Cool. I'm not going to scream. I'm actually trying to be nice. But what in God's fucking name do you think in this economy that I'm going to have? I already have Amazon. I already have HBO. And I know someone's like, oh, boo, fuck off. I have a kid and I need those. Okay? It keeps my sanity when they're homesick. All right? I already pay for way too many subscriptions. I already pay for way too many subscriptions. I actually had to sit down and figure out which ones I wanted to keep and which ones I wanted to get rid of. Like, we're going to be losing Hulu because it's going to Disney. Okay, Disney's probably going to go up. We keep the Disney because, again, I have a 10-year-old who likes stuff. We don't have cable. I looked it up. I would have to buy or I would have to subscribe to the new ESPN account And while me and Daryl are sitting here going, well, we can get hockey and rugby and all this other shit, I looked them in the eye and I said, would we actually watch it? Because hockey is shown on the NBC app, which is free. You can watch hockey there for free. It's
Hockey's on
showing on
everything.
Amazon. Yeah,
Hockey's
like it's
another
on
one that's on
Amazon.
everything. I need to
Yeah,
figure this out.
like I can watch NHL on Amazon when hockey season rolls up. I can watch it on NBC because NBC is free. It doesn't. They know people just watch it for the sports
It's
and then
also
they
on
fuck off.
YouTube TV if you have YouTube TV.
Well, we have YouTube Premium. We managed. We find a way, but I'm just like, are we really gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, we'll watch all this when we end up watching the same stuff on YouTube to fall asleep to? Like, if I'm not paying that extra money to get WWE, to get ESPN so I can see the PLEs on top of having Netflix to watch Raw. What makes you, I'm not kidding that. What makes you think I'm going to spend an extra $30 on a pay per view for you, which you only don't have them every other month? But half the time, and I know WWE the same way, half the time it's like hit or miss. At least with, Peacock, I pay my $5 a month. And if there was some bullshit going on, or if there was some bullshit going on with WWE, I just turned it off and went to bed, or I did something else. I'm not gonna pay $30 each time and then not be sports entertained. Like, are you kidding me? In this economy? And I'm not even saying that as a joke.
So here's how this came about. According to Variety, AEW, their live events are going to HBO Max. The streaming service will begin airing the live pay per views starting September 20th with All Out, and they will, basically air All Out, and they will have a like a pre-show type of thing that they're going to do on Saturday. It's going to be called AEW Saturday Tailgate Brawl All Out, and it begins at 2 p.m. on Saturday on the 20th. And then
That's
they'll
a
have that's like their pre-show, and then they'll start at 3. And then AEWs will continue to be available on all other platforms for purchase, including Amazon Prime Video. And AEW and HBO Max announced their new streaming deal back in 2024. But it was reported back then that the live pay per views will be coming to the platform in addition to the past pay per view library. But right now, the details are not available. So HBO Max will stream AEW pay per view events without ads, with all marketing and promotions for events primarily centered on HBO Max. You can pre order All Out, which will launch on September 5th, which is in 2 days. With the US based HBO Max subscribers are able to purchase the pay per view for the exclusive price of $39.99. They said US based HBO Max subscribers can purchase the PLE for $39.99. Purchase and access to the pay per view content may vary by the subscription provider. Once a purchase is complete, subscribers can find the event under My Purchases via the My Stuff page on the HBO Max menu. After the event, replays will be exclusively available for only 6 months for purchasers.
so I would only have access to it for 6 months and then I lose it.
Yeah,
Man, they're doing the
yeah.
same shit with. Now that's the same shit they're doing with video games when you buy in digital. They're like, oh, we can take it away from you anytime, but you better not. You better be
Triller don't
reinvesting your
even.
fucking money.
Spike TV don't even do that. You know what was under my purchases, and I low key watch it because I hadn't seen it in so long. I had a blood sport from like 6 years ago. I bought that's still in my I can watch.
Holy shit.
Damn. I mean, you
It
pay for it,
was
so you should be
I
able to
don't know if
watch
it
it.
was 6 years ago. It was a long time ago. It was like it was like the first one that they let WWE people perform at.
Mm.
Mm.
So it was like Shayna was on the card. It was like a bunch of random ass people. And I was like, When did I buy this?
Like,
I
hold
looked
up,
at how
wait
old
a
it
minute.
was and I said, holy shit.
I mean, I like the idea of them being on HBO Max, but I'm a little perturbed at the concept of it. I'm a little taken aback by that because I feel like, you know, you've had plenty of time to fix this. I wish you wouldn't have done it at all if you were going to do this because it to me there's no complaining about this, and I think it's because people really don't know. They think they're going to be able to access this PLE by signing up to HBO Max.
They're gonna
It's going
find
to
out
be
the hard
included
way.
in their price, and they're going to get a rude awakening. It's not. And this is what I'm saying. Like, some people are mad about WWE, but there are ways to circumvent the $30 fee of having ESPN. You can get the lowest package for Hulu. I mean, no live streaming, basic Hulu. You get Disney and you get ESPN, and you're going to pay that flat fee for all three of those apps. They come as a bundle. I haven't had a price hike with Hulu in about 3 years. The last time they had the price hike was right when Disney made the purchase of Hulu. That was the last time that they hiked up the price. I was paying 110 for Hulu Live, ESPN, and Disney Plus. And I've had it since I got my Hulu account. Started out paying 90, they bumped it up to 110, and now it's at 123. And it's been there ever since. It is still light years cheaper than what I would be paying if I had cable. I had DirecTV back in the day. Me and AJ were paying $350 a month for DirecTV.
Dark TV used to be expensive.
Okay. And this is before this was right on the cusp of when they started putting out streaming services. You remember, JJ, right? Because we had Netflix too. And Netflix was bare bones then. That was when you could only watch shit like Xena Warrior Princess and Hercules. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
that, that was bare bone shit. You know what I'm saying? So now we move forward. It's not about pricing you out. It's about picking and choosing your battles. They'll notice when the thing starts to go down, when subscribers aren't watching, you're not watching. They will notice and they will pivot. I'm not saying y'all can't voice y'all frustrations and be mad about things, but I'm saying it's best to show them rather than to scream it. I would simply pay for what I want to watch. If this card is not worth watching, like Clash in Paris, honestly, if I would have paid $30 for Clash in Paris, I would be mad.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been mad. But at the same time, it's like that's kind of the luck of the draw with us watching these shows. And everybody's like, oh, we deserve to be able to watch it. No, this is a luxury. Understand that this is a luxury. This isn't something that we have to have. This is something we choose to have. Okay? It's a luxury. And if you don't have the money, I understand. I'm going to tell y'all something. Right now in the United States, in order for you to be above the poverty line, okay, this is just to be above the poverty line. You, as an individual, have to make a baseline of $80,000 a year.
That ain't fucking happening with me, bro.
That's a single person salary. That's not what it takes to run a two-person household or a family of four. That is one person's salary for them to be above the poverty line. You have to make $80,000 a year for you to be comfortable.
That's
But this country is in such great shape right now.
I'm just
right.
telling you, like There is a right now the debt is so massive, and because inflation has ballooned, in order for you to be able to survive, everything has doubled and tripled in price. That includes our groceries, clothing, and especially now with the tariffs having 150% on the tariffs to 200 charge on tariffs. Everything is going to go to shit. And if you are not making at least $100,000 or more, you're not going to be able to afford a house, babe. That's not happening. You'll always be renting, more than likely a 1-bedroom apartment, because that's all you're going to be able to afford. Here in Ohio, in order for you to live a decent life and have a house, you have to make a baseline of $84,000. If you want a home and you know the mortgage and land and all that shit, you have to make $84,000. In the South, in Alabama, you got to make $116,000 a year just for comfort, just to be able to pay your bills.
And people
So
wonder
when I tell you,
why I don't leave the area that I live at is because of the cost of living.
amen.
I will probably, unless I get obviously like a really good job, or I fingers crossed end up working for, I will be willing this into existence eventually. Work for the Cadillac F1 team. I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna be here because the cost of living is significantly lower than most areas, especially in Ohio. But then I'm
Yep.
also to have a bit of a disposable income.
Yep.
I would not have
Most
been
of us,
able to go to would have been able to go to Mania or any of the other shit that I go to if I still lived in Columbus.
that's facts. I can tell you right now, she wouldn't. I'm telling you right now, with the cost of what her apartment would cost, gas is like $3 a gallon, and that's regular, bitch. Like, if I didn't have because I have my BJ's membership, and AJ's able to go to the gas station and get gas for at least 10-20 cents cheaper. If I didn't have that, we'd be up shit creek.
Good old Casey sports.
And that's another reason why, y'all, I'm not saying you shouldn't be upset about the price hiking when it comes to these PLEs, but like I said, you can show them better than you can tell them. Sometimes you gotta move in silence. I wouldn't be signing up for nothing.
So answer me this, because I've been seeing this, you know how people on Instagram like to spread weird shit. I'm seeing where front row for SummerSlam this year is $7,000 for one seat in the front row.
I think what people are not taking into consideration is ticket gouging. Let me tell y'all what happened with Josh. Y'all know the comedian Josh. He does the political, and he ties political stories and headline stories into his comedy. He got real popular. Josh Johnson is his name. He got real popular on TikTok. Josh Johnson has a really big following, and they go to his shows in droves. Just recently, he had 2 shows. Where were they? Sacramento? They had a 4th show in Sacramento, and the show sold out immediately, all 250 plus tickets. And it was to one person. And they had to call Ticketmaster, stop the tickets, because this is the 3rd time he said that this happened, or the 4th.
Wow.
Where somebody's buying up all the tickets and then they're reselling them for thousands of dollars, and people aren't going. There's another issue. Chris Brown's Breezy Bowl just had issues in some of the southern states where people are selling tickets that don't exist. When I tell you that they had thousands of people standing outside of the Breezy Bowl Stadium and they could not get in because their tickets didn't exist.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
And these people were paying anywhere from $200 to $4,000 for tickets.
Oh, remember when back in 2022 when My Chemical Romance was back in 2020, but then in 2022, My Chemical Romance was going back on their first reunion tour, and I was trying to get tickets, and I was sending me pictures of like people who are trying to sell them, and they want like what they want, and it was like nosebleed seats. And she wanted like $2,000 for one ticket. I said, "You're full of shit if you think I'm gonna pay
These
that much."
these ticket companies, but see, Josh kind of exposed it because he said, "I set the price for the tickets,"
Yes.
and then you go in and you look at the tickets after they set the price, the tickets have tripled, and it's
Mm.
like that don't make sense. Like, so I'm not saying WWE is perfect because WWE, they do set the price for the tickets. When I went to go look at tickets for SummerSlam, the initial price was pretty reasonable around that time. That was the price that I had seen years and years before. It was high, but it was just out of my budget. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Then, as the more hype it got and more people started being interested and was like, oh, I'm coming to Cleveland, like the tickets started to go up. We talking those seats in between the nosebleed and those seats, like those middle row seats were like $600.
And
Mhm.
this
And I
isn't
was
just,
like,
and people need to understand. That's why I feel like wrestling fans need to take like a fucking sociology class. This is every artist. Like I went, so I'll use example. So my friends, a couple of my friends went to the first Olivia Rodrigo concert. A
oh,
couple
the
of us
guts
did.
tour.
A couple of girls didn't get to go. Blah, like for that time, but so it's whatever. So it's only just like four of our friends in our group that went. She came
Mhm.
again for a concert, and then especially this album. I kind of liked her first album, but that was like it was a T for me, like this album. So I was like, okay, I really want to go. When I tell you at Little Caesars, I was looking at front. I was looking at literally the back, because again, all these fucking resellers come on there and they start buying all them up and hiking up the prices. Was like $200 for a
Yep.
back for literally the back section.
Jesus.
Like these ticket companies also need to do better with these resales because that's the bigger issue.
That is the biggest problem. Is they're allowing people to come on there and buy the tickets in bulk and then resell them.
Yes,
As
that's
far
the
as
bigger issue.
as far as the Breezy Bowl situation, Johnny, I don't know if they got their money back. I know a lot of people didn't.
I
A
mean,
lot
you
of people was
can't.
upset.
Yeah, it
They
sucks,
never got
but
to go in. They never got to go in. Never got to see Chris Brown perform. Some of them paid for VIP access. Didn't get none of that. Now they can
Mm.
dispute that charge because they didn't get it. They didn't actually go to the concert. And but it's nuts. It's a rat race. I'm not saying that, like I said, I don't think WWE is completely absolved. I do think they're setting the tickets pretty high for these shows. But at the same time, they gotta make it worth our while to go. And sometimes
Mhm.
these live shows are not worth the money they're charging to go. So as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to streaming, there are only a few apps that I watch that I need that I actually have access to. And because all of mine is all encompassing with Hulu and ESPN and Disney Plus, I don't have a problem with keeping it. If they go up to 150 a month, I can be okay with that if I'm paying for these three apps. That won't make or break me. But anything past 150, I'm gonna have to cut it off because I can't afford that. Um,
Mhm.
so
yeah, which I
It's
don't
up
think,
to.
and I don't think that they're going to be that aggressive with it because they're already getting so much pushback now.
Mhm.
I think
I
that's
also
probably
think
the
they need to lower the price on ESPN. They need to have tiers because
yes.
you're pricing us out, and to put it at $29.99, I don't care what's on there. Ain't no app worth $29.99. Not nan. You're not offering
Netflix is
nothing.
barely. I hate paying that fucking 24 or whatever, even though I'm starting to watch a little bit more stuff on there because the second part of Wednesday came out. I didn't realize it
Yeah, it
came out,
did.
which I'm mad about because
And Sakamoto
didn't
Days is
start
up
it
there.
till like I didn't start it till like 2 hours ago, and I got to go to work in the morning, so I'm not going to stay up and watch it. And they have the second season of Megan show. I love her. I love that show.
It's
Um,
such a good show.
and it's just so
Good.
comforting. I just love like if I'm like having like a bad day and like I need to relax or I need to like decompress. Like I love having that show. And then like
I
that
like Netflix's
documentary
docs.
series that they have.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was it called? The Train Wreck series. Whoever started that, phenomenal job.
yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
great.
didn't they
Netflix
do one about Fire
Netflix
Fest or something?
documentaries are no,
They're
they
starting
have
to get a
one
lot
for
better
they have
because
one for
Hulu and
Hurricane
everybody else was
Katrina.
kicking their ass for a minute.
Yeah, they were. But they have one for Hurricane Katrina, which I'm gonna
I'm
watch.
not watching
They've
that.
got the
I'm
I
not
have
watching it.
to. I have to
I'm not
see it.
watching it.
It's gonna be sad, but I have to
I'm
watch
not
it.
watching it.
They have one for they have the doc up there about Jerry Springer, which I started it. I haven't finished it, but it's very, very interesting. And they have
They
the
got Jussie Smollett one on there.
yeah,
They
just debuted.
got the poop cruise ones. Like that was
Yep.
hilarious. They have
Yes. I'm
the what was it? You remember that meme, the Area 51 meme?
yeah, they got
Yes.
that
Yep,
documentary up there.
that
They got a
documentary.
lot, and their docs are pretty good. So I was like, I like my Netflix, and plus I get to watch my anime, and Netflix got some pretty decent animes up there.
I think
So
they was listening to people complain because Netflix had real bad content for about almost 2 years. It was not that good.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then they
Only thing was
have good
keeping them
content
alive
and
was
cancel it.
Stranger Things and Squid Games.
Yes, and then they
And that's not
had
everybody's cup of tea either. Like not everybody likes
no,
Squid Game, and, Stranger Things and
no,
shit.
and they be having good shows. They be having good shows, but they always canceling them. You
It'll
be
be a
like,
real good
damn,
show. What's another one
yeah.
they just canceled? The
The
Society.
residents, they canceled the residents. They canceled the society. Um,
There was one
what's
show
the
I
other
was so
one?
fucking mad about. It was a minute ago. I think it's the OA. This is an older one. I have to
Sure.
look. It's a OA, and can't remember this white girl's name, but she was always in some shit like this. It was always some cult shit.
Oh
Oh, I'm
shit.
gonna look her up because it was so interesting. So it's basically, and it was also obviously like really because they had like a lot of like gay, and this is like when Netflix is really showcasing like a lot of like started showcasing like a lot of like gay and trans actors and actresses and like stories and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And I remember, and they did have a trans actor on there too because this was like around the time. What was that show? It was really good and it got stupid. It's that supernatural show, Sense8.
Oh.
So this is how long the '08. Yeah, the '08. Hold on, I gotta look it up because I low key don't even remember what it was about because it used to confuse me because it was very similar. It had a similar plot to a movie that she was literally in that I think is really good.
Yeah,
I'm about to
Ozark
look it up.
was good. But it got to end. They
It
didn't
got to
like
end.
cancel Ozark. They canceled that other show that was similar to Ozark. What's the name of that show? They just had it up there. It was that one dude. Damn it! I think he's from
Oh,
Friday
this is
Night
that
Lights.
white
I don't know
lady's
his
name.
fucking
I
name.
knew her name was Brit or something. The '08
Netflix.
was about this girl, this young girl. She disappears And then 7 years, she like returned. She has like this weird. She like miraculously appears after 7 years after being missing. She was blind prior. She's miraculously also no longer blind. And then just like a whole bunch of weird shit happens.
Bitch,
And
what kind of
she's
shit
in this
is
movie. I
that?
gotta find this movie she's in, and it's so the East. I and then yeah, the East.
Oh,
She
okay.
the East and Sound of My Voice. So those she had they're all those projects are all sort of low key back to back, and they're all like weird, and they're all weird shit. So the East. Oh, I fucking love that movie. I need to find where this is at 'cause I need to watch that. It had Alexander Skarsgård and Elliot
Mm.
Page pre transition. So this is a while ago. This is 2013. So basically, this lady is an undercover agent, and for basically she's basically FBI agent, and then she's hired to infiltrate this eco-terrorism group that's like they're targeting like really big companies like polluting the environment, and they're just like they're doing a lot of shit. So she like
Mm.
gets in and just basically infiltrates the group, and then she starts to win over the leader of it, which is Alexander Skarsgård, and obviously starts to get messy because they're fucking and whatever, all sorts of stuff. um
Oh,
and and then what's Sound of My Voice is so good. Ooh, I'm about to watch all these movies this week because I forgot
I
about
can't
these
word.
movies. And then Sound of My Voice, and then we'll go back to our regularly scheduled program. But this movie was so interesting. So it's basically this Californian couple. They're making a documentary about this basically about this cult, and the wife of the married couple are trying like basically they're trying to expose her because they think she's full of shit. The wife specifically thinks she's full of shit, and because so the leader is claiming that she's from 2054, and they have her in like this super enclosed environment because according to her, because of the way our environment is, she's like super allergic, and she's can't handle, I don't know, like can't handle the shit. And then basically she's like how she basically lives off it's just weird. And then basically they're uncovering basically trying to figure out, okay, is this lady like for real, or is she like full of shit, or like all this other stuff. And then basically it's about the couple like getting like basically starting to like get, you know they're basically getting wrapped into all of this stuff. It's a really
This
good
is
movie. If
wild.
people really like sci-fi and really like stuff with cults, i.e. people like me, that is a really good movie. And this is also when I was in my movie buff era. This is when I thought I wanted to be like working like movie content creation. And this is when
Mhm.
I was always like, I literally, my ass was always on the Sundance and the TIFF site and every day, all day.
Hmm.
So the last cancellations they had on Netflix was The Post, The Residents, and it was No Good Deed. So Post
People are pissed about the
was,
resident.
yeah, they were. Post was a semi-serious what they call it, like medical drama. It was to compete with The Pit over on I think it was
It's on The
it,
Pit is fucking amazing.
it is a good show.
That's amazing.
I think The Pit is on, which
It's on
one is it
HBO
on?
Max.
Is it
It's on
on
HBO Max.
Max? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Max has The Pit, and then CBS has a couple of medical
That's
docs
their
and
best
stuff.
show.
But yeah,
That's their best original show. Is The Pit.
so The Residents was from Shonda Rhimes, and it was like a murder mystery anthology show. Um, these shows were in their top 10. So The Pit, I mean, The Post was in, and The Residents both were in Netflix's weekly top 10 for 4 weeks straight. Post peaked at number 3 with 8.5 million views. The Residents peaked at number 2 with 8.8 million views. And then No Good Deed, it peaked at number 3 with 6 million views. So these were top shows that people were watching and they canceled them. And they were very, very angry about it. So
I do it all the time
when I
for no reason.
it really doesn't
My
matter how.
theory is not even my theory. I found it. I saw like on Twitter or something that they low key canceled them shows, some of them shows to fund Stranger Things because Stranger Things is so fucking expensive to make.
Then why greenlight them in the first place? Like you wasted time. And I don't think this last season is going to be worth all of this that they're putting into it anyway.
No, this is
I
like
really.
during like the second season because this is when they start all this bullshit, just like canceling shows. Like we do all this, make such a big deal about it, and then um cancel it. They low key almost just canceled Umbrella Academy, which I wish they did because the last season was so horrendous.
Don't fucking
Um,
talk to me about that last
that was
season. That
oh my
pissed me
god,
off so fucking bad. I'm like, who the I understand. No, I love
it was
okay.
bad. It was really bad.
I loved the Umbrella Academy when it came out, when it was
Same.
first like in comic books because it was so weird. Like Gerard Way is my savior, but he is a fucking weird dude. And then the art and everything, it for like 2000, that point in my life, it kind of just hit. And the stories and the books are weird, and the heroes are weird, and the whole situation was it's just weird because like they go back in time and they show you like the Umbrella Academy, all the people involved with that they had something to do with the Kennedy assassination because Gerard Way has this weird thing with the Kennedys. I don't know why. There's like a picture of like him and his wife doing a photo shoot and they're dressed up like JFK and Jackie O and it's the before and after shot. Like he's a weird fucking dude. But the books were so good. And then sorry, we'll go on this rant and then we can get back to wrestling. But like the books were great. Even like they were weird, but you're like, okay, you have to step the fuck back a little bit because they are weird. But that TV show pissed me off so fucking bad. They they took one of my favorite characters from that story and made her such a whiny bitch. I had to stop watching it halfway through
What
because
are you
I just
talking
couldn't take
about?
it from her.
Which
I couldn't take it.
character?
Rumor.
Oh, they made her weird.
Mm.
She's a
Rumor
lot
was
likable, and you know what really made me mad? She's really likable the last season, but the last season is so bad that it's like it doesn't
It's
even
not
matter
worth it.
anymore. She's a
and
Yeah.
lot
then
like I liked her the best the last season. She was so,
and
and it made me so mad because that she's the actress that plays her is such a great actress,
she is. But it's just like
and
they
they made
made
her play
her
such a unlikable. She is so she's the most besides what's his name, the big ape motherfucker. I hate him. I hate him
oh
the whole fucking time.
Luther.
He's
Damn.
I remember the name. Oh my god.
hate that
No,
man.
because and then here's the thing too, when because I'm gonna call them Victor and Vanya because Elliot Page played them, so I'm gonna be respectful and use the pronouns or whatever, right? They were like distant from her in the comic book because she like at the time she was the only one without powers, right?
Hmm.
They were
Mm.
so much meaner to her in the show than they were in the comic book. Like
And they're
they
grown
like
ass ages in
yeah,
the
and then
show.
because at one point, like they would be talking and they would make a good point, and then the other ones were just like completely ignoring her or would tell her to fuck off or something like that. And I'm like, they were not this mean to her in the books. What
I do remember them saying that the showrunners changed some things
they
and that
changed
the
a
guy
lot.
who wrote the books he didn't like the changes. He didn't like them at all.
He said,
But
Gerard Way said he wanted nothing to do with the last few seasons because
Yeah, he was not. The one
he was
season was
pissed.
good. The season the season right before they transitioned because you have that one lady you reveal it reveals like that one lady that Diego was like messing around with was
Hmm.
the one lady's daughter, and then she had powers, and they had that big battle, and then they were trying to
Hmm.
save the kid, and there was so much going on. Like that was good, and then
Yeah.
everything after that was like, ooh, what are we doing here?
And yeah, and it's just like when they went back to like the 50s or the 60s, I thought that was kind of cool because again, it's just like the whole
I
Kennedy
love that
vibe.
season. That's my favorite.
That's
That was my favorite season.
that was the last season I stopped watching because like I try. It was like when Walking Dead brought in Negan. By the time he got there, I was so checked out from that whole series because it's just like copy paste, copy paste. I mean, I'm not expecting Shakespeare from a zombie apocalypse, but it's like if I can just start predicting how each season's gonna end, that's not a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone's like, "Well, why did you give up when Negan came in?" Because at that point, I was bored. I was bored, and I'm like, I'm done. But no, like they took Rumor, and I was so mad. They took her and made her such an unlikable cunt, and then it's like the whole time, like in the books, you can feel sorry for them because the whole thing was weird to begin with how they got here. And then they were forced to be superheroes at such a young age. And they're like little kids. They're like being thrusted in the spotlight. They're like this universe's version of the Avengers, pretty much.
And they're
And
literally having to like kill all these, like killing all these creatures and people, and like it's weird. I was like, and that's not how I. That's why I wasn't surprised that man was an alien, because I said you gotta be a soulless motherfucker.
yeah, they show it right off. They show it right
No,
off
I
in the
no dead
book that
ass.
he's
Like
that
they,
he's
it's
one.
sad when they're literally they're babies.
They're babies,
Like they're like
and
8, 10 years old. Like what are we doing? Like there was like what is the fucking UN doing?
for real.
Like
Nothing.
what? Like the Geneva? Like what is going? And everyone's
The
just like,
Geneva
oh, blah
Convention.
blah. And I'm like, what?
No, it like just made me so mad because like in the books you felt so bad for these kids because they're like literally thrusted and then like one of them dies. Like he like and that's the thing I kinda like the one
Oh,
thing I
Ben
liked
is
about the
so
show
hot. That guy who
where
plays him
they
is so
where
fucking
they
hot.
where they brought Ben back because Seance is one of my favorite characters in the Umbrella Academy. So I was like I loved how the actor who was portraying him, he did such a great job. And I love the one where they're like, "Did you form a cult?" No, they just showed up. Klaus, this is the cult.
No,
Oh, okay. Like it just like it's just funny how he
Didn't
does
he
it.
name them? They're like TLC. It's something crazy.
Yeah, it's like something weird. He's such an asshole, but he's like
There's
a
something
good
based off of TLC, like the actual TLC, like the name of the cult or something.
like crazy, sexy, cool or something like
Yeah, like
that. Like
something ridiculous.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
but it's like
All right.
and like but yeah, it just read the books. Just read the books. The show pissed me off so fucking much. Just read the books.
All right, y'all. So we're going to move on to the Righteous leaving AEW, and they have their eyes set on WWE. According to the dirt sheets, the Righteous, Vincent, and Dutch have formally requested their releases from AEW, and it was granted amicably, despite contracts extending into late
Okay.
2025. The door open for freelance or Ring of Honor appearances so they can still work in other aspects of AEW, but they are no longer contractually bound to work in AEW. Now, it says that WWE is reportedly interested in the Righteous, and their performance center was already intrigued by them, and the speculation of them joining WWE is growing continually. Now, on the IWC, however, the fans aren't exactly on that side. They kind of are playing both sides of the fence. Some of the fans are like, oh, this is a fumble from another fumble of AEW's. And then the other fans are saying that they could have utilized Cross with the Righteous and made him an actual group that would have worked for him. And they wish they would have kept carrying Cross if they're going to bring the Righteous in, because it would have blended right into his brand of character work, and it could have catapulted Cross and Scarlet to where they needed them to be. I am not familiar with the Righteous, so I have no
I
dog in
can
this
probably
fight.
talk a little bit about them. So Bray Wyatt was a really big fan of the Righteous. Like he really liked them, obviously, for obvious reasons. And when he was still here, he was campaigning to get them to get signed for WWE to sign them.
Mm,
And he wanted them to get paired with Cross and Scarlet. And this was like around the time, like, because you know how they randomly got AOP in them.
yeah,
So
which was
he
stupid.
was, I guess, he was trying to get the Righteous and not a like for them, for Cross and Scarlet.
Hmm.
Like he really
Which,
wanted them to have the Righteous, and then he would have. And then obviously this is when like the Uncle Howdy stuff was like kicking off, and then he would have had the Wyatt Six. So one brand would have that spooky shit, and another brand would
hmm
have that spooky shit, and so
hmm
they would be able to bounce off of each other.
hmm Bray was ahead of his time.
He was.
I fear tag teams signing with WWE mainly because they don't use them properly, and I'm not
If
sure
y'all
how it's
sign,
gonna
make
work
them
out.
make them put you in NXT first.
I agree.
No, no,
Um,
I. That's where I'm gonna argue because main roster needs tag teams because they're already people are waiting for them to split up Street Profits at this point. I don't know what Gargano and Ciampa are doing. Uh,
their wrestling
they
has a tag
They're
team.
Yeah,
they're I mean
they're
yeah,
they're
but then
literally they showed up at NXT last night.
yeah,
Yep.
and then they that tag division, and I don't even know about the Raw tag division. That tag division is atrocious.
I don't
It
think
needs.
putting the righteous on Raw at all is fair to the righteous.
Yeah.
Well, what
I
team
would
do they
go to
have on Raw?
NXT. At this point, I don't care. I'm being honest with you, Alexis. I'm not even trying to be funny. I would not give a damn. I don't want to go to Raw. If you bring the righteous over to WWE, they should only have two options, maybe three if WWE owns TNA. Their asses need to go to NXT or they go to SmackDown because SmackDown has the tag team division on lock. Okay. So much so that they are neglecting the women's division.
I don't want them
It
to
is
have to be brand new and fix the entire Raw's tag division.
That's
I don't
my
want I
problem.
don't want them problems for them. Once they get
Exactly.
another tag team thrown over there, okay, they asses can go over there. I don't want them to have them problems because that's not fair to them.
Which more than likely it'll be Matt and Jeff Hardy, but you didn't hear that from me.
Oh,
Mm,
they want everybody getting their one last run in.
apparently,
I'm
I
telling
mean,
you,
they're gonna. I mean, I always said, regardless of whatever, they should retire there. Even my feelings about Jericho, I always feel like he should retire there. Um, I say this about
hmm
Moxley. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I feel like he should retire there as well. I don't think he will,
that's
but
where they started.
I feel like he should.
I agree. Plus, it would be remiss of me to put all this blood, sweat, and tears into a place and not go get something that they owe me.
Yes.
true.
They owe me that. So if I was Moxley, I'd go back just for the paycheck and the ring alone, bitch. Like I don't need the
When
rest of
I
the
mean
week.
Moxley, he don't even got to be there. Literally at the end, like he already does his hoorah at AEW. He has one match and he gets his ring and he goes home.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
That's
That
it.
final
He don't need.
match.
He do not need to do more
And
than that.
yep. Yep. So
He might feel froggy.
hopefully,
Might want to do like two matches, but
yeah,
yeah,
one with
he
Seth and
needs
one with
actually no. He
Roman.
needs to have three matches. They have to have one more Shield.
One
Um,
shield run
they have to have a Shield. He got to
and one with
do
each member.
yes, and that's it. I don't want him fighting nobody else. That's it. That's all you need.
I have to agree. So if the righteous do show up in WWE, let's hope that they get a fair shake and they don't end up like Motor City Machine Guns, where they're kind of lost in the sauce a little bit. But
I forgot you were there. Oh my god.
to be honest with you, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way. Some of y'all think that your indie favorites are going to be successful in WWE, and you're wrong. And the reason why that is because they don't have the swag to be able to move and shake in WWE the way other people can. And that's no shade to Chris Sabin or Alex Shelley, but they don't have the persona to be able to do what they're doing in WWE. Why? Because Seth Rollins already exists.
And we can go to the next one because I'm about to rag on that man in a second once we get there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
WWE's WrestlePalooza update is as follows. The main match, or one of the main matches for WrestlePalooza, is Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky. They will be battling for the Women's World Championship. The title was vacated after Naomi announced her pregnancy, and the match is officially set for September 20th at WrestlePalooza. They have decided to completely forego a tournament and just go into the title match. Former champion versus current number one contender. That's the way they decided to go. To be fair, they only got 2 weeks until WrestlePalooza. So it makes sense, but I've seen them pull together a tournament out of nowhere. I would have liked to have seen it. It would have at least added some extra women's matches. And you could have kind of slid in some SmackDown girls to kind of, get over there without having to be traded. You know what I'm saying? But
I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what the plan was, but I think they want to use because I think they want to wrap this into the an Asuka Kyrie storyline
yeah, I
because I
kind of figured
honest
that
because
they
I
would.
think that was their plan and they were like once I think they realized they really wanted to do this whatever they're doing with them, which are great. Like I like storylines, some a little bit different. Not that different, but some out the norm. And I think they were like, okay, we can use this as a way because
Hmm.
Io's not going to win that match.
No, she's not. Steph's gonna be your new champion.
Stephanie is going to be a new champion, and Asuka's going to cost her.
Yeah,
obviously we can see it a mile away. That's fine.
yeah, yeah,
I still would have liked a little bit tournament, but I do understand the pivot
yeah.
for the story.
It's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I don't mind them using. Sometimes I don't mind them using a title for a storyline, as long because I like the story with Io, Oscar, Rhea, and Kyrie. I do think it's different because that's something that we would see in the men's division, but we see it now in the women's division, and I think it's hella smart.
Yes.
Um, Especially with the hierarchy of the Japanese wrestlers, and they're using that in WWE. I think that is so genius. I don't know who decided to do that, but you're a fucking genius, okay?
Yeah.
Because people weren't paying attention to Asuka's promo on her social media. That adds to context to this story, and that's something that you need to see. So I think it's really, really good. But
I didn't even know she
I
had
was
a promo online. What was it about?
yeah, she
Or
was
was it
talking
just
about her relationship with EO and how they had a hierarchy in New Japan, but they decided to forego that and they decided to treat each other as equals and they were friends. And then afterwards, they, had to be bitter rivals and fight each other, but they still respected each other. And she said
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah,
why,
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I
and she
thought that
said
was
this
something different.
betrayal from Rhea Ripley, from her with Rhea Ripley, she said that's why it hurt so much. And then we started to see her like assert her authority over EO. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see
Because
what's
she's
going
the
on here.
OG technically.
Correct.
Because because you want to be real, especially when you look at that space, you can consider even though she's been in the game for so long, that was one of her young lions.
Yes, that is what it is. Yep. Yep.
EO was one of the young lions when Asuka was already established. So then
Mm-hmm.
obviously if you are familiar with New Japan, that's like a very, very, very big thing.
Right.
And this is on the men's side and the women's side, especially when you talk to people who spend a significant amount of time in Japan. They'll talk to you about it. People like Zack Sabre, Will Ospreay, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, um, Tony Storm. Tony Storm, obviously, she's too a character right now. Fine, love her for it as she should. But before she was kooky, she talked about it. She talked about it a lot, the most out of all the women. Her and B Priestley.
Mm-hmm.
And it's again because they take wrestling so seriously over there.
Yeah. So it's a good storyline. If you're not invested in it, you need to be, because it is going to lead to Io and Asuka possibly battling it out, which I think is a dream match for a lot of people. And I'm just very curious to see how they're going to make it play out. But the AJ Lee rumors are beginning to swirl. If you didn't watch Monday Night Raw this past Monday, Becky Lynch continued to assert herself in this feud between CM Punk and Seth freaking Rollins, all based off of the fact that the fans chant CM Punk during her matches. And now, because it's directly affecting her and her hot husband, as she refers to him, she
Yeah.
has decided that it's time for her to now play a major part in the her husband's vision. The vision doesn't include CM Punk, and so he has to be eradicated. They gave
I
him a
have a
choice to leave, gave
I
him a
have a
choice to
question.
leave on his own, but he didn't want to, and so they've decided to attack him. Hold on. I'll let you ask your question in a second. Monday, she slapped CM Punk so many times, and it was such a
It was awkward.
it was so weird. The whole promo was weird. The way
I don't.
I do think
So
that
are
the
we
way she
crazy?
came
Because
out, it
I
was
didn't like
funny.
it that much, but I feel like everybody online is like fucking was losing their mind about it. And I was like, I
It was
don't
a
like
shitty
that.
promo. It was a shitty promo, and
He,
she kept
I, low
slapping
key,
the
he should
man.
have fucking punched her.
I
He
would have
should have.
slapped the shit out
I
of
would have
her.
smacked the shit
I
out of that bitch. Like, not
I
gonna
don't
lie.
like that. I don't like it at
And
all.
I would have
That
told
pisses
her,
me off.
man, you got 5 seconds to
To
come
come
down
get
here, or
her.
I am smacking your wife while your little daughter's watching this shit in your tour bus.
I
I kid you
agree.
not. I will
Because
Yep.
slap the shit out of your
he
bitch.
he looked legit pissed the more she kept slapping him, and it's not one of those like
Yeah,
fake
and
like.
that's why I
He
said, you
looked
need to
like
hit
he was
her. I
gonna
said, just hit her. Just hit her.
like
And then
Chicago was about to come out of
she
him
was
real
like,
fucking hard.
she was burying her head in his chest. Right. Don got me. Like she was literally doing the most. And I was just like, what is going on? By that time, Seth was gone. Nowhere to be found. He was gone.
And
She
then once he
then,
walked back, I would have hit her with the go to sleep and left her ass in the ring.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, then she began to verbally berate him as he left, telling him he stinks. His sweat was all over her. She was pissed. So he went in the back and told Adam, tell me where he is. Adam said he's gone, but good thing is you know where he works. We'll see him next Monday. And he was like, where's SmackDown this week? Adam said SmackDown is in Chicago, home. He said, huh, tremendous. And Adam goes, what does that mean? I'm like, it means you're about to have an extra Brooks in your
It's,
company for the next couple
you're
of
about
months.
to have a whole other problem be thrown your fucking way. Good luck, homie. Like,
And I'm not the biggest fan of that lady. Of I should probably I'm call her April. I'm not calling her AJ yet.
I'll
Um,
call her AJ Lee. I mean, that's what I know her
I'm gonna call
as.
her that lady in April. I'll call her AJ Lee when she shows. Once I start liking her maybe a little bit more. Once that lady shows up, that's one thing that lady could do was talk on the mic.
That's
mm-hmm.
true.
April, you probably not listen to it. I feel like you don't consume a lot of wrestling content. That's okay. I respect that.
But girl,
You need to tear her apart. Not you don't
yep,
need to do it physically yet. You don't even need to do it physically because if you don't do it physically yet, that's gonna drive her fucking crazy. Don't do it
yep,
physically. On her the way I'd be. Oh, I'd be dragging her. And then, because, and I also didn't like when Seth said this comment when he made like that childless comment to CM Punk. I did not like that shit
Yeah.
because not everybody wants to have children, and people shouldn't be just like people's values should not be subjected to if they have children or not. I do not fucking like that, and I was very pissed off about it. Not gonna lie.
Well,
Um,
Well,
since all of that's not off limits, since that's off not off limits and everything is fair game, then Becky's book
yes.
is fair game. I'd be reading her with her own
Oh, and
shit.
especially in that clip was floating around how she was trying to get all up at AJ's face, and AJ was just like, "Oh, hey,
what,
I
AJ
was
Styles?
no AJ Lee."
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I should have found it when I looked at it because it flew through my mind, but I ended up was starting homework. But there's a clip that started floating around that night from her book, and it was talking about how she was literally, and also this was weird because this was in the bathroom. So they were in the bathroom, and AJ was like, just got done washing her hands, like she's on her phone, and she literally like just got done washing her hands, and she's like, "Hey, I blah blah blah, I'm Rebecca," and then she's like trying to talk to her, and AJ's like, hi. If I was AJ, I'd bring that up, and then as
Yep.
soon because I know set because Becky's a broken record, so because she's gonna mention that man, obviously she's gonna mention him because
Yep.
he's part, and she's probably gonna mention how I'm a mother, and then if I was AJ, I'd be like, I'm a mother as well. And
Yours.
then AJ, and then
Mhm.
Becky's gonna say something. Well, I was probably like I was in labor for X amount, which obviously goes to her. That's amazing. But I would have been like, I am a mother to us. Like I gave birth to a generation. I've been
Yeah,
like
ask
Yeah.
half
my
of these
friend Perez.
girls. Yep.
Boom.
And I would have said half these girls that are in this ring because of me. And I've been like, can you say that?
Nope.
Ooh.
I'd be like,
I
or
was
ask
like, that's what
Finn.
I'm
How's
saying. Like
Finn?
AJ could really, April, listen to
You
me.
need to tear her
You're
ass
probably
a
not
new one.
listening. You need to eat that lady up because she's probably going to bring up that baby. And you need to
Yep.
use a line that's very similar. And you need to name all your children because a
Yep.
lot of your
All of them.
children are there. Liv is
You
low
got
key
Roxy.
AJ's daughter. Once I
Yeah.
really
You
started
got
thinking about of her children because I was like, she do got a lot of.
Hmm.
And AJ not only has daughters, she has sons.
She
mm-hmm.
got sons. She do.
So that's what I'm saying. I would have been like, you got a lot and that's what I tell her because she's gonna rant about how she was did this and did that, and I would be like,
I'm like,
and
weren't
it's
you
true.
cornering me in the bathroom trying to shake my hand?
Yep.
Like,
I
That's
would
you
have.
a
right.
fan,
Oh
you
my
a
god, the
fan, you a
way I'm
fan.
so sick. No one has used that book against her.
I would be tearing her apart with her book every
I would
chance
have.
I got.
I would have sections
Bookmarked.
bookmarked to roast her
Yes,
every week. I'll roast her with different chapter. I kid you not.
girl, I'll be tearing your ass apart.
I just want to know this. I just want to know this. First off, why does every woman seem to be want to get involved with her man's business? Because y'all did not learn from Candice LeRae, who took that fall off the fucking ladder, and her husband's team still didn't fucking win. Like,
Listen, when it
let me.
comes
Well,
to
Candice
this,
LeRae is different because she does a lot of things for the love of the game. So that doesn't.
and I'm not
Yeah.
mad, and it's the even out for the Street Profits having beef at.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at Candice. What's weird is that Becky got her own thing going on with the title. And that's why I was like, you now draw Becky into this vision shit. That cuts off the mid card division title shit.
For the
That's what I
time
was
Because you
going
being,
to
or
ask.
however else this is gonna
for
last.
however long they do this, that cuts that off. Because you done
That's what I was.
drag this into the vision. So I mean,
That's
can
what
they
I was going
still
to
have
ask.
feuds and stuff with that title? Yes. Yes, they can. But the stories are going to flow through this vision crap. And that's what I have a problem with. And for the most part that they've been together, most of their storylines have been completely separate until now.
The
And it's
way,
just given authority, and I hate it.
and if
That's
I
what
was
pissed.
April, I would have came out, especially with with Beth and Seth and Becky again, I'm like, oh my god, so we're trying this again. I was like, it didn't work out the first time.
Ooh,
Ooh. So like that's just my thing
So
because it's
that's
like
why I get so mad at these people. I said her and Seth T are so fucking clockable, and no one's like, well, I mean,
it's
CM Punk low key clocks him, but he don't clock him like he should clock him.
you
because
OG CM Punk would,
this is
That's what
but
I'm
he
trying to
be
common
say. He's
letting
a
him
little too
common
live.
nice now because
CM
I
Punk.
would have
Like
clocked him because, like I said, I think on here before, and I stand by this because I 100% think I'm correct. I said people don't love Seth Rollins, and I will
No,
always stand by that.
no, because you know
no,
why,
I
and
don't think so.
it's not because Seth is not a bad wrestler. He's
No,
probably
bell to bell,
he's
he's
fun,
top three of all, top three
He's
but
five all
great.
time.
him and his character
Yeah,
work
That's a complete separate conversation.
and
Yes,
his character work
no, but we're
completely
talking
gets
about,
over. But
yeah,
him
it's
as
good
a
character
person,
work, but no,
him as
and it's
asses
not
and
even
seats,
that.
asses and
It's
seats, and merch.
it's not
He is
even
not
him
him.
as a person, right? It's not him. It's not him, the individual Alexis. Like, really, it really isn't. Because if we're being honest, Roman's kind of a douche, and
Yeah.
he's a draw. He is a draw. But Seth's
And then you
problem
have the
is,
opposite with Cody. Cody's a
yes,
draw. And that's why like I don't ever like I don't use like the conversation with people. I don't know, someone try to have like some people try to have weird conversation with about Cody. I'm like Cody puts asses in seats. Cody
he
puts
every
does.
asses in
time
seats. Roman puts asses in seats.
CM Punk
CM
does,
Punk puts asses in seats and
Randy,
Rhea Ripley puts asses in
yep,
seats.
yep,
Those I'm gonna
every
just
time.
those four they put asses in seat. Seth Rollins does not put fucking asses in seat. He will not sell out. He will not sell out a pay per view. He does not sell out WrestleManias because of him
That's
on a card. I'm being dead serious. He
that's
does not put
true.
asses in seat.
Say it's true.
They'll be like, oh cool, he probably is gonna have a good match. I'll make sure I watch that later. But if you put him
Well,
compared to like I'll use again. I'll put them against AEW because again they're obviously I don't want to say kind of pro, but obviously different promotions. He-
yeah,
I'll use Hangman Adam Page. Hangman's puts asses in seats.
he
Yeah.
does.
Kenny Omega puts
And
asses in seats.
whether you
Yes.
like it or not, so does Swerve. He
Yep,
does.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
can't
And Will
stand
sorry.
that man,
Ospreay.
but that man put but he again he puts asses in seats. That's what I'm
And
saying.
so does Will.
There are
Will
levels,
Ospreay.
and Roman says and he when he would get his shit with and like in general he would say there's levels to this shit and that's a fact. There's
Yes.
levels.
And Seth isn't there. He's not there
He's
yet.
not there. He's never going to be there because he's been doing this too long that it would have happened already.
Facts.
Low key Becky was able to do it for a little bit. She doesn't have that power anymore.
Nope. It's
She'll
given
make
to
you pay
Rita
attention. But but you're not going to go crazy and buy a ticket and
because
lose your
she's
mind
there.
because she's
No.
there. Like it's just like
I
whatever.
cannot
But you know
I
who
cannot
else? You
remember
know who would put asses in seats if they come
I
back?
think EO low key does too. And I don't think they
EO
Liv
is
give her
put
her
starting.
credit.
She's getting up there. She's right below.
Liv puts
Live.
asses in
EO can barely fucking speak English, and I'm not using that as like a out. Hell,
No,
Stephanie's
but that's
almost there.
facts. Yes.
Stephanie, EO, and Liv are all at that
Yep.
almost there.
Yep.
hmm
Yep.
This
And
is
Becky
another
ain't
one.
even there. So that's what I'm saying. Like there are some levels to the because those they sell merches, they get talked about, they put somewhat asses in seat, but they get talked about.
Now
Those
you
three
know
women
it's
are a
and you
good
know what's
example.
funny is that Jay Uso does put asses in seats, and he doesn't have
hmm
to be champion to do it.
Yes.
And that's the
I forgot
thing.
about Jay.
And it's just like, you like. It's not that Seth isn't good enough. It's just that he doesn't have the ability to draw like they do.
He doesn't have the natural charisma and aura like those people do. I'll give
So
example.
Penta.
Mox, regardless of how much he gets on my nerves, that man put some asses in some seats.
He
Hell,
does.
Penta's not even been in WWE for a full year yet, and people like you hear his theme music, people start running back to their seats because they don't want to miss him.
That's true.
And he's
If
only been there for a few
I give
months.
Penna a year or two, and he would have that draw.
He's gonna pass Seth on that. He
Yep.
will eventually. Who else is gonna be once Javon starts really cooking
Yes.
and
Oba.
he goes up, he's gonna put some asses in some seats.
Oh, when
Yes.
Oba comes up, it's game over for Seth at this point.
Trick
And then
Williams.
Trick,
Trick.
all three of them, they're gonna put some fucking asses in seats.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yes.
will put,
Fucking
especially Oba, and once Oba gets in front of the casuals, they are going to lose their mind.
They're gonna
He's
love
gonna
Oprah.
put some asses in seats.
he is a big
Yes.
look, that big guy that they want. He's athletic as hell, and then
He's
on the
But he's
women's
charismatic.
side,
nice.
He made
he's good
Ricky
to
And
look
great
yeah,
at.
character.
he did. He did. And, but out of character, he's really nice. He's very
Yeah,
mellow, very, very cool. Like he's very simple. He's not simple as Gunther, but he just real chill.
So
because
that's what I'm
he's
I
got
saying.
like
the
Like
Oprah.
charisma.
that's why, and that's what I'm saying. And then AJ, like that's what makes me mad. Nobody is clocking Seth and Becky on the real T.
Cause they got
Because
tea,
that would have been the
but they
first
don't have
thing
no
I told
problem.
him. I was like, if
Right.
you had things such under control, why did they call me back?
But,
Why did
but
they
my
call me
thing is
back? If you had it
they
under
will use
control,
everybody else's real tea and don't nobody do that against them. I'd be like, you got me fucked up. You're
But see,
gonna spray me with my shit.
I said,
let me
you ain't
just say
about to
this real
call.
quick.
I said, why did they call me after all the bad blood and all that? Why did they call me? If
Begging
you
for me to
were
come back.
able to take
To
over
hold
where
it
I
down.
quote unquote dropped the ball, I would
You never
really
could.
like to know. I'm dead
My
ass.
thing,
You're
That's
mad
what I would
because
say
they're
to him.
chatting. I'm like, you're mad because they're chanting my name, but you were supposed to be my replacement, remember?
What was
You
you
were supposed
doing?
to fill my shoes. So what
this whole,
happened?
You couldn't even find the
I don't like
shoelaces,
it.
my guy.
Right.
Like
Okay,
my
Kenny
whole,
Oh
said,
my
did
god,
y'all
the way
see?
I would make that man cry. I'm telling y'all, I will be some people's ghostwriters for promos.
I agree.
You
Kenny said,
send
did
me
y'all
a
see
DM, send me a
Nash?
cute little Cash App or Venmo. I will. I'll get you, bitch. You will go viral. I'll get you. I will get your shit together.
Kenny said, did y'all
I
see what Nash said about Becky? It was like excerpt, but he basically said Becky is getting passed by and she's hanging on by desperation.
yeah.
okay, I don't think she's hanging on by desperation, but me and Rico said the same thing when we were talking about this the other night. Becky has been doing the same shit for the last 6 years, something like that. This whole man thing. Then she does big time backs when she does her little heel shit. No one buys into it. And my thing
The
is
song
just
is good
now the
though. That's a good theme
songs. I
song.
mean,
Yeah, it is a good
That's a
song.
good
I like
theme.
her.
Yeah, I'll give
I'm
her
glad
that.
her
That's a
theme
good
song.
theme song.
Her theme song is the one thing that hasn't changed, and I love that. I love her theme song because it's recognizable. But she did change it. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's new. It's
Yeah,
good
it's
though. It's
new.
good.
It's
It's
a
by
good
a
new
band.
song.
Like
And
they made that's specifically her song. It's good
yeah,
though.
I, I just think honestly,
it's a good switch up for her
where
character.
where Becky is right now is what when she did that thing and they were finally taking her seriously. We were all excited for her. But now it's just like to me, and y'all knew I used to ride hard for Becky Lynch back in the day. I was like not a big.
I
I
love
wasn't like
Becky. Becky fucked up her face on my birthday.
yeah. Thanks, Naya. Um, but like
It's not
my
that not like Becky isn't doing great. Like I'm with you when you're right, but I'm
I need
against you
her
when
to
you're
she needs to
wrong.
switch it up. She needs I'm tired.
Yeah. No, like
that's the thing.
you
I
and
don't think I don't think she's being passed up. But you have girls on the roster now who are always changing their character. If something doesn't work, they go back to what they know, and they. It's like when Nicole says, you go back to the lab, you work with what you got, and you figure out what you can do to change it up a little bit. You have guys doing that too. Hell, you got talent that just showed up from NXT that's doing bonker work right now, But it's just like with Becky, it's the
Blake
same
is a
thing.
low key is about to switch into like another is about to switch into like the other side of her character. That bitch just got here. And she's
Yeah,
doing
Yep.
this.
and it's just like this whole thing with Becky. I don't understand why like they decided to put Seth with her because, like you guys said, that's going to hamper that whole division. And it's like we're already not seeing Julia, okay? So that's a problem right there in itself. So
That's a
women's,
SmackDown problem.
I know,
Yes.
but I'm
It's
just it's pretty much the same thing. But it's like she hasn't. She's only to my knowledge, she's only gone up against Lyra and Nikki Bella for that title. And that's it. There's no one else
Bailey,
that has.
Lyra, and
Well,
Nikki Bella. Those three. She's gone up against
how
three
did
people.
how
Oh,
does
and
it
she
get
had
beat?
that match with Maxine, technically.
Mm,
Yeah, and she went up. Well, was it a title match?
Yeah, it was a title match.
I didn't
okay,
know
well then
that.
my calculations are wrong. But my whole thing is just what is she doing with this title? This title was meant for undercard girls that they were trying to make sure because she could handle being a champion and see if they were on their way up. Because what if we always said about the men's IC title? That's supposed to be the workhorse title, and that's supposed to be the guy who's next in line to go for the main title. We've always said that, and that's how it's the formula's always been. I don't like this fact. And going back to that promo on Raw, first of all, you slap my husband. We ain't waiting till Raw. I'm catching the next flight, and I'm gonna hit you right back. Like I was not around for AJ Lee. I'd seen like bits and pieces of it, whatever.
I
But
was.
like, but
I
like,
was there.
she was one of the girls who was really doing something. Like she was trying to change character wise. I didn't really care for her, but I will give the woman her flowers now. She was trying to change up the way women were being seen and presented in WWE. I will give her that. She was trying. She was doing as as much as they were letting her do at that point. I will give the woman that. But it's like that whole promo was cringy as fuck. Like I was just like, why the fuck are you coming out here? Don't you have a title to defend? Don't you have other stuff that you could be doing besides getting involved with your husband's business? And then like when she slapped
The
him,
way they set this up, though, he is her business. So I look at it the way that I used to look at Stephanie and Triple H. Oftentimes, when people would go after Triple H, she would be the first kind of defense. She always stepped in the way. She always was there to slap somebody or take somebody out. That's the very same playbook that they're using with Seth and Becky, like verbatim.
and I
So
mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of forced because at least with Triple H and Stephanie, it was organic because they were always seen together. Stephanie was always coming out with Triple H and doing that. They just put them together. We know they're a couple in real life. We get that. But it's just like, I don't know. Something about Becky right now is not clicking with me. And then seeing the promo, and then when she repeatedly slapped Punk and I legit saw him get mad, like, I mean, like, I understand you slapping my husband one time if it was on script, right? But you're multiple times you're laying hands on my man, and see, I'm an August Leo. Don't touch my shit, and my husband is part of that. Okay, like you do not put your hands on my husband. So it's like,
I don't,
I,
I don't know if I think it's forced. I'll say that I don't think that Becky is a good actress. That's what I think this is. Um, I don't really think Seth's that great of an actor either, but he does have ability to portray what he needs to portray when it comes to his character. Sometimes Becky's character work is a little lackadaisical. It's intentional why it is being perceived that way. It's the best way to explain it. She's insecure. She's very insecure, which is it goes back to like what we were talking about a few lives ago when Nicole was in here, and I was telling her, and like Nicole got it immediately, and I swear to God, it came. I thought about it, and I'm like, it brought me back to American Horror Story Coven, and Nicole immediately she was like, Lyra's her supreme, and I'm like, yes. Yes, like it was the only way to explain it so you can understand why Becky's so angry with her. It has nothing to do with Lyra coming to the roster or none of that. It is that Lyra is supposed to replace her. She doesn't like that. So she did everything she could to put that woman down into the dirt.
I'm telling you, Lyra got to do this. I mean, she's probably not ready for the Seven Wonders, but we're gonna need to figure that out.
Look, Stevie Nicks needs to make a
Lyra, if
cameo.
you're listening to this, you need to prepare to do the Seven Wonders soon. I haven't figured
Because
out a time or a place, but we need to
Cause
get
hold
this
they
it.
show. We
killed.
need to get this show in a row. I'm tired. I'm tired of
Cause
that. But we
Marie
gotta get
Laveau
this
and
show in a row.
them, they killed their little surprise.
We don't. I feel like that's unnecessary. We don't need to do all that.
But like,
Child, they took her out. So I'm just
I,
saying, like when you look at Becky's character arc, it's never been about the fact that she, is all she's so great. She has, if you think about what she says. I'm the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and I'm not the only one who says so. Other people say it, and she has to keep reiterating who says it. Not for
Because she's
you.
insecure. Because that bitch has
There
been
you go.
insecure. She's been insecure
Her
her
whole
entire
life.
fucking life. She's been
Her whole
insecure.
life. It's not
April,
for
there you
us.
go. Tiff just gave you
Yes.
something else.
Yes. Yes. It's not for us. It's for her to remind herself of who she is because she's lost it. That's
April.
what the issue is.
April. I'm telling you.
That's why you're not believing what she's saying. That's why it comes, oh, this seems so fake and forced. That's because it is. It is. Because she doesn't believe it. So
Because
she
she's
has
not
to
honest
keep,
with herself.
no. And the biggest problem I have with it is not that it's not worthwhile because there's a story there, but WWE doesn't know how to bring it out properly. And that's the issue. Because they're like, okay, we need a big moment for WrestlePalooza. We bring back AJ Lee. That's going to bring back eyes. They're not lying about that. Okay, because them motherfucking Diva stands is about to run to ESPN in
It's not even
droves.
just diva. It's so I have never realized how many people love that lady
Yes.
until when I say people are freaking out. And once it started happening, and because I tell you, I can smell it, and I really know they added extra seats for SmackDown.
Yeah,
oh
they
yeah,
did.
there's
So
some of the
that
Yep.
big
told
stuff.
me everything I need to know. Because once they did that for Survivor Series, because again, may he rest in peace. But I remember I was arguing with Trey about this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
he was adamant. He's like, no, it's for Randy. I said, no, he's coming
No, it's
back.
not.
I said, I
Yep.
love Randy. They're not selling some dumb corner seats to fill up for Randy. I said, they are filling that up for CM Punk. I said, they
Yep.
want that to be as loud as possible. And lo
Yep.
behold, that's exactly what happened. I said, they are filling up that arena for that lady because they added 500 extra seats, and I think they're almost sold out now.
Because that's
Yeah,
going to be
they
the
are.
highest viral thing. And like, here's the thing, y'all know I did not care for the diva times, but here, like, people are saying online she don't need to come back or something like that, and I'm like, not me defending the fucking diva era, right? But I'm like, look, if y'all can sit here and want to see Trish Stratus come back again, you guys want to see Lita come back again, and you're always talking, Donnie, this one's for you, buddy. I know you're in here. That uh, you guys want to see Kelly come back, and you want to see Paige come back, and all these girls from that time period. Why all of a sudden are you shitting on it? Because AJ Lee might be coming back, and it's like she's not going to be there permanently. She's going to do this thing, and then we don't know what's going to happen from there. But you know, y'all can sit there and say you want Trish Stratus to have another championship run, but people are getting up all upset because AJ Lee's coming back. Like, make this make
Mm-hmm.
sense to me.
And
And I'm like,
and and I
I mean,
agree, Alexis.
like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something probably controversial, right? And Don's probably like, I can't believe she just mentioned Kelly. What the fuck? But like, if any woman from that time period deserves to come back, because Kelly has come back numerous times for uh, Royal Rumble. If Michelle McCool can show her face, if all these women can come back, why not have probably one of the best divas to come back and have a couple of offset matches? It's not going to affect anything. She's not going to come back and want title shots. It's gonna be like Beth Phoenix. She's gonna show up, come back, help her husband out,
I
and
don't
then
know.
she's
She
gonna
might get a title shot. She might.
She might, she
well,
might. Hell, she might end up taking that shit off of her.
And I
Which,
wouldn't
I,
I
the
wouldn't
was,
be mad
oh
at
my
it.
god, I would honest. I'm like I said, like I'm not really a fan of April, but that that would send me. I would love that.
Ooh, I
It
forgot.
just
We
lets me
forgot
think
about
that
Dom. Forgot all
Mm-hmm.
it
about
just
Dom putting asses in seats.
Yep.
what does Don say?
Dom, we put Dom is putting asses in seats. We
Yeah.
forgot all about Dominic Mysterio. Dominic,
Yep.
Bianca.
Street profits. Like, I
Eh,
Mm,
mean, there's
nah.
well back in the day, street
I
profits.
think when
No,
Montez
not
goes,
no, not yet.
when
They
Montez
haven't
is
gotten there.
single, he will.
He will.
When
They're
he's a
not there
singles
yet.
competitor, he will.
Um, but for I always said because they got such the short end of the stick in that era. Again, I wasn't watching in that era in the Divas area. I feel like they had it the worst out of
Mm-hmm.
all the eras of women, if we want to be real.
They really did.
Yeah.
I think that diva era had it the absolute worst. If any single woman who was in that era wants to come back and have a one off or have like a short run, they should be able to because how fucked they were during that whole time and how they
Yep.
were treated.
100% agree. And
I they should
y'all know I can't stand that shit.
if they're like, hey, I want to come back, they should 100% be allowed because the bullshit that they all dealt with during that time, they 100% out of any era, every single one of them should be full game.
I mean, I just think it's really funny that people were barking for the Bella Twins to come back and take those women tag titles when those were in play. But
To be
everyone's like,
honest, I feel like they should. After Alexa and Charlotte get done, I mean, they the Bella twins. They've been begging for them fucking titles for years. Let them have the shits.
Yeah,
I don't
let them
care.
have it. They're probably not. They're probably not going to have it that long. Probably what, a month, maybe two. They probably maybe have a two pay-per-view run tops. Brie ain't gonna want to be on the road for that long.
oh, she wants to be home with her husband
Nikki
and her
won't
kids.
mind. Brie would not want to be on the road for that long. They will not have those titles for long. Once if whenever that finally comes to fruition, they're not gonna have them long because Brie's not gonna want to be on the road like that.
So we got one more thing to get into before we get to a couple things that'll be rapid fire. So Matt Riddle is in trouble for no showing to yet another event this year. He no showed at an event earlier this year. I want to say it was like May or March. I'm not quite sure. But he no showed at that event and he no showed at this event as well. The event was in the UK. It was an advertised event for Global Wrestling Kingdoms match or event, and they had it in Barnsley, UK on August 31st. It was raising funds for survivors of domestic abuse and homeless veterans, and he just straight up never showed up. He didn't travel to the UK, and he still hasn't returned his booking deposit. And the promotion had to refund fans. Now, he was working other shows the same day. They saw him wrestling, and it's turned into a big old controversial thing. Now, before we get into this, Matt Riddle did like release a statement and
It was a
basically
mess.
said what happened. So I'm gonna read it, and then we can get into the other stuff. So what it says is in a video posted to his social media, Matt Riddle responded to the allegations that he no-showed to a charity wrestling event in the UK. Riddle denied the claims from the promotion of Global Wrestling Kingdom and detailed his side of the story regarding what he called unacceptable travel arrangements and false advertising. He said the controversy began after Riddle failed to appear for his scheduled main event against Simon Miller at the A New Kingdom Rises event on Sunday, August 31st. The promotion claimed that Riddle never traveled to the UK for the event and had not returned the deposit for the event, which was held to support charities for survivors of domestic abuse and homeless veterans. In his response, he stated that the travel arrangements were the primary issue. Quote, the reason I didn't go is because you booked me a flight for Thursday for a show that was happening on Sunday, and you said you were booking me meet and greets, other matches, and appearances. You did none of that. I had nothing scheduled, and I was going to sit in a hotel room for 2 days in London. I told you multiple times I can't do that. He then goes on to explain that he offered an alternative solution, which he says the promotion refused. Quote, I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I told you I'd fly in to Sunday, London on Saturday evening. You guys refused, so I flew to Miami and wrestled there. End quote. Riddle did compete for Boca Raton's championship wrestling in Florida on the same day as the UK show. Riddle also refuted the promotion's other claims. Quote, I never said I wouldn't pay you guys back. That's a lie. Also, this show wasn't a charity event. That's a lie. That was a last second chance. End quote. He also criticized the quality of the flight that was booked for him, describing it as a middle seat, no meal, and no check bag.
Hi, I don't know if anyone doesn't know this. My husband works for an airline. He's an airplane mechanic. Okay. And while I am not fully, into that, Google is free. Search engines are free. So I did a little digging around for that. Now, he originally, for this one thing that he was doing, that he was working for on Saturday, which was the promotion Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff were trying to get off the floor, right? So he was in Cleveland, Ohio. I did the math. From Cleveland, Ohio to London, that is a 7-hour and 36-minute flight. Now, where Matt Riddle was saying, you guys can fly me out Saturday. Now, most international flights, they leave late. They leave at night, like around 6, 7, 8 o'clock, something like that. And they do that because of the time change. And so people can try to get some sleep. So when you wake, like what Nicole likes to do, she likes to take some things that'll knock her out. And then, they get on the flight. She doesn't wake up till they get there, right? So I did some digging. Now, on international flights, you do have to check a bag. It all depends on what airline that they use. Now, most wrestlers, if they're smart, probably have the membership that goes along with the airlines, right? So, like you see, like United has one, American Airlines has one, Delta has one, all major ones have it. And for one of them is that you get free checked bags, right? So, and then on top of that, that's my dog in the background, sorry. On top of that, international flights, depending on how long, let me get away from my dog, he's going nuts. International flights, depending on, apparently Eddie knows everything too. So, with international flights, you have to offer at least 2 meals and in-flight snacks. Because if you don't have that and you have a diabetic or somebody who has hyper or hypoglycemia, that would be a lawsuit ready to happen. Because yes, you can take food on planes, but you can only take like unwrapped, unopened certain things, right? So, and then for the airports, there was 3 airports nearby that Riddle could have gotten to. I believe one of them was in Manchester, Liverpool, and somewhere else. I cannot remember off the top of my head. So and then one of his other gripes was that it was a middle seat. Even if you're in economy, they still have to give you meals. And it's not like going to be like, domestic flights where everyone's like crammed together. You get a little bit of leg space, but not a whole lot. Yes, he is quite knowledgeable. But overall, there's no way if he was in Cleveland and he had to work, what did he say, Saturday night or Saturday, there's no way he was going to get to there on time anyway. And if you go to Global Kingdom Wrestling's Instagram page, you see where the wrestlers were doing meet and greets, and you see where Matt Riddle does a promo saying he's going to be there. This all took me about 15 minutes to do, by the way. So, yeah, I think he's lying.
Well, it's just really slimy. I just don't like it. This isn't the first time he's no showed to an event and you kept their fucking deposit. If you were that upset about the subpar conditions of your flight and everything, then give them back their money. What are you doing?
Now,
Just give
before
them back
anyone
their
starts,
fucking money.
now before anyone gets on me, because they'll be like, well, then Jacob did the same thing. Jacob said he couldn't do it because he had a family thing to go take care of. But later on, I was looking this up today too. They said that they realized because they got a hold of Jacob, and he's like, no, I sent you the money. I sent you through like PayPal or Cash App or something like that. And they checked it because the email they had attached to it they rarely checked. And sure enough, Jacob, this is when Jacob was in with WWE. He had WWE transfer the amount to that place, so they did get their money back. So before anybody says anything about Jacob, just putting that out there too.
All right, Nicole, you got anything to say about your boy? Or are you good?
Nah, just he's just a crackhead doing crackhead shit. I feel like I don't need to talk about it more.
Speaking of crackhead, he is looking rough
No, I'm
though.
being
Like
dead ass. Like there's like obviously there's other things going on. Like especially like damn, I wish I didn't
Oh my god.
leave my sun cruisers at their house. Um yeah, like he just look it's I don't even it's not worth it. Like I said, it's just a crack. It's just like Tyrone it's like Tyrone Bigum's doing something. It's like yes. Why are we shocked? Like
Okay.
I knew I have no, I'm no longer shocked by anything after
Excuse
he
me.
dropped that hate that he was having a OnlyFans.
Ew.
he
And
hasn't.
I was like, I will never be surprised about a single thing he does or says anymore. And then he keeps talking about CM Punk, and I'm like, you never even worked with that man. Like, what's your problem?
I don't know.
That is
That's
the
I'm
weird.
surprised.
weirdest. It's the weirdest thing. Like he just talked to someone. Like he was saying like how he think it's weird how he's in NXT all the time.
So
I would have been
what?
like, well, I think it's weird how there was a chlamydia outbreak while you were in NXT, but we won't go there.
No,
Oh, shit!
no. Are you being truthful?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Because you remember
Oh my god.
Candy was talking about, and then everybody, again,
Yeah,
the
she was.
lacks context, was like, oh, we're
Mhm.
thinking about now, even though
No,
low key all them people date each other, allegedly would not be surprised if there's a current situation. But
that
this is
yeah.
when she was in NXT.
Hmm.
And not
Mm-hmm.
even when she was the second time. I think this is like the first time.
The first time, yeah,
So this
yeah,
is when they was all. This is when a lot of them were there.
yeah. Don said he's been doing that. It's been weird. Yeah, he's just been.
He's been weird since he's been weird for ever since his that lady of his divorced him. Like, well,
He's been.
he's just been real weird. I don't even think he sees those kids low key.
Well, are you surprised?
No, which is sad for those
Okay.
children.
All right.
This is what happens when you
So
give
that
mediocre white men a platform. So
Jesus be offense. We're
you
going
know,
into rapid fire because I don't know. You're not. Because I don't want to hold the ladies any longer than I have to, but we're going to move this quickly. I'll let them say whatever they want to say about each topic, but we're going to keep it down to like 1 to 2 minutes so we can get this done and you guys can get out of here. And we'll keep the other main topic that we
Oh shit!
had for next week's episode. So you guys will have time to come up with some more stuff to talk about in regards to the main topic we're supposed to have. So the topic we're covering is fans being unruly. All right.
oh my god,
Rhea Ripley and Sheamus had a massive issue in terms of their safety, security, and some of the security of some of the fans. For Rhea Ripley, she was swarmed by a massive amount of fans to the point where it was very, very scary for her. She put out a message over on Twitter basically saying that People have to remember that they're people too, and that if she has to, she will defend herself the next time. So, and I just want to remind y'all that she put Buddy Murphy on his ass multiple times. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think y'all want to mess with that lady. So just,
Who?
Rhea
Rhea.
Ripley. So just,
Drake
give
needs
her
to. First of all, she's way too old for him compared to allegedly.
I'll get to Drake in a minute. We'll get to Drake in a minute. We'll get to
My food
Drake in a
stuff
minute.
just soured in my mouth. Ew.
But
Ugh.
Rhea Ripley was sworn by a bunch of fans on that European tour, more specifically in Paris. They were on her like fucking flies on shit. It was very scary to watch the video. It was
Mm-hmm.
posted on social media. But again, she made it very clear that she was very uncomfortable in that situation and she felt like she needed to defend herself. But luckily, she was able to calm down and just, get the fans to calm down and not be so rabid. This also happened with Sheamus, and one of the fans almost got trampled because and it was men. If I'm being fair, it was men, and it was a lot of men just running after these superstars. Like it's unnerving. And Sheamus had to grab the young woman and say, "Hey, are you okay?" And he had to tell everybody, "Calm down." I saw a black dude with dreads get slammed up against the glass.
Oh
Have
shit.
y'all ever watched like World War Z when all the
Yeah.
zombies be moving? That's what it looked
Mm-hmm.
like.
Yep. I told you it
Scared the
looked like
shit
a
out of
zombie
me.
board.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? But child, Aria said she ain't having it. She said the next time I'm gonna defend myself. So whatever y'all got going on, I'm not gonna be a part of it. Seamus just wanted to protect the young woman that was there because she got lost. They almost was stepping on her to get to Seamus. It was
Mm-hmm.
nuts. Okay. Now, the last thing when it comes to the fans being unruly is Liv Morgan's stalker situation. All right.
Oh.
Look, they got the man. He is currently in jail and awaiting trial, if I recall. But he is asking for his release from jail ahead of his November trial. The trial is set for November. Okay. But it says, according to PW Insider, that Sean Chan, the man who is accused of stalking Liv Morgan, has requested his release from jail. According to the criminal complaint, Chan flew from Canada to Florida, traveled to Liv Morgan's home, entered her backyard before attempting to get into her front door. He later left a note on her porch, which read in part, "I came here to pay just a friendly visit. Nothing more." Yeah, sure.
Motherfucker, I
Sure
don't
you
know
did,
you.
you little
See, Liv,
bald headed weirdo.
Liv be
Chan was
like
arrested
Liv.
by the FBI on June 3rd after WWE security recognized him on Morgan's home security footage. He has since waived his right to a speedy trial to allow for a psychiatric evaluation. On August 20th, Chan filed a motion asking to be released from prison until his trial, stating a Salvation Army location has been secured for him to reside in. The court has yet to rule on the request, and Chan remains incarcerated. He is expected to stand trial in November. They need to keep his ass in jail. That's it. That's
Um.
all.
This is gonna be my saying. We have said this once. We have said this multiple times. When these people are not on TV, or they are not at a meet and greet, or they are somewhere where they are not in character, leave them the fuck alone. And I mean, like, not to try to be like, oh, women or whatever. Rhea Ripley is a woman at the end of the day, and nowadays with how you're hearing like the toxic masculinity and guys not being able to hear them like, hey, back the fuck off, leave me alone, that kind of shit. You don't know what these kind of people are. I was watching a video today that Chavo Guerrero was talking about his grandfather Gordy and how like people would legit try to stab wrestlers back in the day. Like they
The
would bring
hell?
guns, like they would bring guns and shit to the arena because they don't. Kayfabe was very alive and well back then, but it's scary to think about it. And we talked about this before we went on the air. And like we understand they don't go over there as much as they do like over here in the States or whatever. But it's like that is insane. Like, and it's just like the again, the fans, whether the European tour or what they did, or this situation with Liv, even the situation with Sonya and Mandy and Alexa Bliss and all these other people who are, y'all are making the rest of us look bad. First off, leave these fucking people alone. They don't owe us anything. When the cameras are not on them, you leave them the fuck alone. I don't care if you go into a restaurant and there's a wrestler sitting there eating dinner with his family, with his friends, his wife, their significant other, whatever. If they are not on TV, leave them the fuck alone.
Well,
That's
Nicole, you got anything to say about this particular section, or you good?
No, I'm just gonna say I agree with that, and also this the notion just because a person is a public figure and quote unquote famous and they'll have notoriety, that does not give you agency to have access to them 24/7 because you could see them on a TV screen.
I agree.
exactly.
People also people don't understand boundaries, and that is,
And
yes, they are in entertainment, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, that is still a job, and they should be allowed to disconnect from that job, just like you and I should be allowed to disconnect from our jobs when we're not working. It's the same fucking thing, and that's it. All I gotta
I
say.
agree.
I totally agree.
All right. Last bit of information. We're moving into TV and film because, as you know, WWE and wrestlers from both all promotions can easily move into entertainment, and they have. So, you guys remember when The Miz was gone for like 2 months and nobody knew what he was doing or where he was at? Well, The Miz was filming for American Gladiators, love. He's going to be the new host. American Gladiators is set to debut on Amazon Prime, though they do not have a definitive release date yet. And since it's the end of the year, I don't think they're going to release American Gladiators either. I think it's not going to be released until next year, probably
I
like
give it
around the
December. I
summer.
give it December, January. That's what it's
Yeah,
leaning
Okay.
towards to me.
So,
when they need
American
those ratings.
Gladiators. So, American Gladiators is coming back. It had a resurgence back in 2024. But it was short lived, but it's been doing really, really well in the UK, which is why the Amazon Prime has decided they want to bring it back, and they have tapped some of your favorite wrestlers to also be a part of it. Now, you guys recognize some of these guys in here, about two of them. Wardlow is one of the gladiators, as is former WWE superstar Rick Boogs. And then they have some other athletes in the back that are also going to be your male gladiators. For the women, Camille is one of the women who is going to be an American Gladiator. That's one of the reasons why she's been off TV for quite some time as well. And Wardlow, they were both filming for American Gladiators. And I can't say for the entire time that Wardlow was off TV that that's what he was doing, but for this last portion of it, that's where he was. So American Gladiators will be returning to TV. It's going to be on Amazon Prime exclusively, as far as I know. So I'm gonna watch it because I loved American Gladiators when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite
That was the
shows.
shit
I used to
growing
watch
up.
it every Saturday. Every Saturday I watched it. I loved it. I love that show.
I got a
So
question for when you were watching it. Did you ever be like, you know what, I could do this. I could totally do that. And now we're all
yes,
pushing for
yes,
and we're
and
like,
I was like,
no.
yeah, yeah. I always did. It was like that with Guts and Legends of the Hidden Temple. I always
Um,
just assumed that I could do everything.
the
Um,
silver,
I to
the
this
but
silver
day
monkey
want
still
to
gives me
be
rage
on
to this day.
Legends. I still to this day want to be on Legends of the Hidden Temple so bad, and Global
I
Guts,
agree.
because especially when
Yeah.
I was younger, when I was like a kid and super super athletic, I was 100% convinced that I could have won Guts.
Oh,
Yes.
same. I
I would at
wanted to
least
Yeah,
be
kind of
top.
because
do
I
it.
was like, if I didn't win, I would at least be second. I was always
mm-hmm.
convinced I could fucking do Guts.
But I was
Still to
convinced
this,
I could
not
do Legends of the
now
Hidden
with the
Temple.
way my body is, but back then I could have done it. I could maybe
Oh
do
yeah.
Legends of the Hidden Temple now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I knew I could do
Maybe.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
No,
I was ready for Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I was afraid to do Legends of the Hidden Temple because all it would take is one time for one of them temple guards to like jump and try to grab me, and I would just be punching a motherfucker in the
They used
face.
to be so scary. They're still
They
kind of
were
scary to me, and
scary.
I
Yeah, they are
rewatched it
scary.
recently. I was like,
Like
ooh.
Yeah, it is.
I was watching this
The
like
temple
this
guards
show
will
they were
freak you
talking.
out. Yeah.
They were showing. Me and Daryl were watching this. It's called The Funkland, and they were doing like old school game shows, and they did Legends of the Hidden Temple, and me and him were like, we were fine, whatever. And then they showed one of the temple guards, and me and him both jumped like so bad, and it was like, why is it like when we're hitting 40, these things are still fucking scary? And that goddamn silver monkey, I swear to God, that thing pissed me off so bad.
What was the name of the
Oh,
video game show that we used to watch? Was it on Nickelodeon? Was it called
Nick
Pop Quiz?
Arcade, Nick Arcade. That's what
I
it was
don't
called,
remember.
right? It had the one guy hosting, and then like the kids would go into like the video game worlds.
Yeah.
It's called Nick Arcade. I used to love that shit. I thought
Yeah,
it
it
was a
was called
fever.
Nick
No one else
Arcade.
knows this.
I
Oh,
love
and
that
you
show. I
love
wanted
that
to be on
show.
it so bad. I wanted to be
Oh
on
my
it
god,
so bad.
I
That's
wanted to
another
be
one
on
that I feel like I would have did okay on.
Wild and
It
Crazy
was a
Kids
good
was something
show.
I
They
wanted to
should bring
do.
that back. They
Like
should bring
I
that
just
show back. It's a good show.
like I'm excited. Like y'all don't understand. Like '80s, late '80s, early '90s American Gladiators, where they had there was so much steroids being used in the back, and like everyone was buff, and the guys and the girls all had like great hair. I was this one guy. I think his name
Yeah,
was
they all had
Thor.
that 80s style hair.
80s
Mm-hmm.
feathered like mullet, and for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, I just remember there's this one tall buff dude. His name was Turbo, I think. He had like this
Yes.
blonde and he was huge. I mean, he had like some pecs that were like sticking over the unit. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh. Then I was like, and then my mom liked one of them. I can't remember. He had like this like really long black hair, and we think he was like indigenous. I think, but I don't know. But there's this one guy. My mom, ooh, she loved him.
I love the American Gladiator. I can't wait for the show to come back. It's going to be one of my favorites. So I'm glad that Miz is doing it. Miz always finding a bag. Somewhere he finds a bag. I think he would be great as a host. So I'm not mad at it. Good luck. I hope the show does well because I'm going to be watching it. We're moving into movies. Okay. On September 19th, I told you guys this on my shorts earlier this week or last week, but Dave Bautista is going to be in a post-apocalyptic movie called Afterburn. And in this movie, Dave Bautista is a mercenary, and he goes out and finds items for various warlords and, you know, leaders. And this particular warlord wants the Mona Lisa. It is in a part of the country that is considered war torn and definitely a death sentence to go into. And the whole point is to figure out why the warlord wants this particular painting and what the significance of it is. And of course, getting in and out of the place in one piece. He does have a partner, she's a female, and it's a very much action packed movie. It's pretty typical. It has already been pre-released overseas. It's made about $6 million overseas, so it hasn't been doing too bad. So it's gonna be theatrical released over here in the States on the 19th of September. If you care, eventually it would then go to streaming, which is when I'm gonna watch it because I haven't been to the movies in years. Okay, I didn't even get to go
Everything
see
goes on
Sinners.
streaming so fast nowadays. That's why I wasn't pressed about. Well, I was like kind of upset. Well, I feel like I really should have made it more of an effort, but I had too much going on to see the F1 movie in a theater because I was like, I really should see this in an IMAX theater.
Mhm.
hmm
Because a lot of people said obviously it was really good in IMAX. So I was like kicking myself, and I was like, I should have saw that in movie theater. Um, So, but that's now on streaming, but it's behind paywall streaming. So I'm gonna wait till it gets moved to something else, which it will soon, because that's what happened with Sinners. Because Sinners came out, and but it was on like it was only on what's that one fucking app, the Fandango one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh, I ain't paying for that. I was like, I'll wait till it goes on something I
And
already
then it
got.
went
And
to
sure
Max.
enough, a couple weeks later, it went on HBO Max. So that's what I'm assuming. That's what's gonna happen with F1 too. It's all now. It's only on Apple TV, but I ain't paying for no Apple. I'm gonna end up having to probably get Apple TV because
They
F1
say it's
is
some
probably
good
gonna
shows
F
on.
their F1 is about to end their contract with ESPN this year.
Mm, you think they're going to
So
Apple?
most likely. That's what the rumors are keep saying, especially since um even though they aren't really connected, but they did invest heavily in the F1 movie, in the production of
Hmm.
it, even though it's not
Hmm.
tied to F1 the sport in general, even though it's a movie about the sport. But it doesn't have ties to like the FIA or like drivers council or any shit like that. But obviously that shows Apple's interest, and they're willing to pay a bunch of money. And ESPN wanted to keep their deal the same amount, but obviously F1, like, they wanted more money, as they should, because obviously like the recognition of the sport has gone up along with the amount of consumers of it. So if I was like FIA whatever, F1 or whatever, I would also ask for more money, because of how many
Mm,
eyes, like how many more eyes are on a product now. And then apparently Apple TV is willing to pay that much money. I was hoping Netflix would buy the streaming, since I would already have Netflix because of what's it called,
WWE.
because of WWE,
And
but
you was watching it because of that
They
formula.
also have Drive to Survive on Netflix. So I was
Yeah.
hoping, I was like, okay, so Drive to Survive is on here, and I'm so excited for next season. It's going to be insane. And I was like, so they already have Drive to Survive, which is like basically it's like the reality ish. It's like the reality show of F1. They do
Hmm.
like they always cover like an entire season. Um and so I was hoping, but it's probably going to go to Apple TV. So I got to figure out what streaming. I'm going to have to figure out what streaming I want to get rid of.
Brandy said it was a good movie. The Formula One movie. She said it was good. It was just real intense.
Yeah, well, F1 is really watch. That's like the we'll watch a race. All the races are intense, and it's really stressed out, and it stresses you out. Like literally, like I'm stressed out the entire time. Like there's certain times like I'll just turn it off because I'm like stressed out. I'm dead
Jesus,
ass, and I'm like I
I
can't do
can't
it.
watch stuff like that.
No,
But I love it
it's
though. So
actually
it's like that, and I was not having a good time last Sunday. I was very crashing out because one of my Ferrari had a double DNF, so they both Ferrari drivers are out of the race. Fucking Ferrari. And then my other person that I sometimes root for, even though I kind of don't like him, but I root for him because he's a Scorpio and our birthdays are a day apart. So I feel in
Mm,
turn that I have to like root for him. And I don't mind him too much. I just don't like the team is winning too much. And then Max was doing all right. He got second, so I was happy. And then this little rookie that I like got third. But but the one person I liked, he like crashed out DNF, and he probably fucked his chances of winning the drivers' championship this year. And I don't want the other person. And it's literally so. I'm gonna do a brief F1 lore, and then we can just this. I think this is the last thing we're talking about. So currently, right now, in the drivers champion I talked about before, there's two separate championships. There's drivers, constructors is the team who accumulates the most points in the season. Drivers is the driver that accumulates. McLaren has literally fucking rocket ships right now, like literal fucking rocket ships. So they're if they don't DNF the two drivers, because each team has two drivers, they have been in the top three almost the entire season. And so they are consistently racking up points. They are going to get to a point, which this does happen from time to time, that they will have such a deficit between themselves and the other teams in the constructor championships that they can call that constructor championship, because there's no way mathematically that anybody can catch up, which is probably going to happen within the next two races, because McLaren has almost 400 points, and then the like three, they have like 360 some, or some fucking ridiculous number, and then Ferrari is second and they have like two something. So once, and that's the same thing that can happen to drivers championship that happened with Max Verstappen two separate times, that you are so ahead mathematically that no one could catch up with you, so they just call it at that after whatever that race, like you just win. So the two front runners for the drivers championship right now are the two drivers for McLaren. It's Oscar, and then there's Lando. Lando's been there for a few years. He's like the little heartthrob, little baby face. Like everyone loves him, like sweet little kid. Stuck with them when they were still kind of stinky, and then moved and has stayed with them as they progress to do great. Oscar's like this little stone face, like serial killer who has been there for the past 3 years. Zero personality, probably a nice kid, but just dead behind the face and on the eyes.
Mm,
Like
that's scary.
he's just a very odd duck. Like he like wins and then he's like gay. Like has no, like literally no reaction. It's very
Oh,
odd.
wowzers.
Yeah, he's a very odd man. So anyways, he's winning. The drivers championship is kind of a thing, and it's just been kind of a thing. So Lando lost, got DNF. So DNF, that means he didn't finish the race, so you don't get any type of points. But you also don't get points if you score. You have to be within the top 10 to score points. So, but anyways. So I was really upset. I was pissed about that. My boy that I root for in IndyCar, Pato Award, so, little cutie. He's from Mexico. He drives for McLaren's IndyCar team, and IndyCar is really stupid. So sometimes it's a disadvantage if you start at first, because the way the pit stops are, you get fucked and you end up in last place, or like the last two places.
Mm-hmm.
That basically what happened with him, and then he also had brake issues. So he and it was really upsetting because he started off at pole position, so he was at the number one spot, and then I think he finished at like 23 or 24. So I was just not having a good time. I literally,
Oh
once
boy.
I saw that he was, because it also was the last race of the season. Once I saw that he was that low, I literally turned it off because I was upset. I was already upset because of Lando DNFing earlier, and then the Ferraris DNFing, and then this, and I was like, you know what? I'm not watching no racing for the day. And then I turned on to NASCAR like an hour later,
I
or whenever
can't.
NASCAR came on.
Aaliyah asked if Lando Norris is who you were referring to.
Yes, I am talking
I have
about
no
Lando
idea.
Norris.
I have no idea who that is.
Is
So,
I will do a breakdown after this if anybody is interested.
I
all
am
right,
interested.
we got
Of course,
one last thing to cover. We got one last thing to cover, and it comes to wrestling in Hollywood. So, The Rock recently did a movie called The Smashing Machine, and it is about a MMA fighter, and I think this is his last run
Mm-hmm.
as a mixed martial artist, and he's had some trouble. Like he's very much mentally having some issues with battles of depression and other mental health issues, and this was a big thing for The Rock because this was a type of role that he would usually shy away from. You know, he's very much a creature of habit, similar to John Cena when it comes to his movies. He usually is the hero in all of his movies, and he has a tendency to screw up a script or two because he wants to be seen as the hero in everything. Um, so, i.e., Black Adam and Rampage, he asserted his authority as executive producer to change things, and that caused those movies to flop pretty badly. The Rock has decided this year, or rather from here on out, to commit himself to be a legitimate actor. And so he took on the role in the Smashing Machine. Now he put on quite a bit of weight. If y'all look at this picture, he was beyond his wrestling weight for this particular movie. He was abnormally large. But he has since dropped majority of that weight, and a lot of people thought that maybe he was sick, or he he was preparing for another role, and it's just that he no longer had to keep up the regimen to be that big. So he dropped his weight, and he's about half this size, which I think he looks fine at that size. I
I
don't think
think
he looks
he's
sickly.
still like 260, which
He
is
Yeah,
looks fine.
crazy.
Like I don't understand why
yeah, but
people are
they were
making
saying he looks sick, and
He does not look
um
sick. He just looks.
doesn't.
We just haven't seen Rock that. We just have not seen him that size in years.
That was
no.
like
Rock used to be
that
that
was
size. Rock was that
that
size
was
for
prime
a long time.
that was
Yeah,
prime rock size. Like this was rock back in the early 2000s size right here.
yeah, he was a big guy. But he played in the movie. He played UFC and MMA legend Kerr, and he battled a prescription drug addiction. And Emily Blunt played his wife, or his now ex-wife, Dawn Staples.
He stayed
At
being
the
in a movie with
film's
Emily Blunt.
okay, love him some Blunt child. Now at this film's debut, he got a standing ovation for this movie. So he must have did very, very well. Um,
They love,
Shadow
but
Smashing Machine, it's supposed to come out on October 3rd. So it's about a month from now when this movie actually drops. But yeah,
good for
what y'all
him.
think?
I mean, good for the
You
rock. I think, hopefully this will, I really can't say a whole lot, but like I just don't like the fact that people are making this big deal about his weight and then saying like, "Oh, this is what it looks like when you're coming off the roids," and I'm just like, you know,
Men drop weight so easily, it's unreal.
like
yeah.
look at,
All you
and you
have to
know
do
what
is
they,
stop eating. It's for
Literally, that's
him.
it.
uh,
He packs on weight with food. So if he cuts
have
his calories in half, he's gonna drop that weight easily.
have you seen his cheat day meal?
Yeah, but he doesn't eat like that anymore.
But
The
so it's
movie
like
got
Jesus,
100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, it did. It got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not gonna last long.
No, they usually no movie is 100%.
Somebody comes in there and ruins it. So
Yeah, someone's
it's
always
coming.
trying to fuck it up for the class. That's what pissed me off. They did that for what's that TV
Sinners.
show? Huh?
They did it. They did it for Sinners. They did it for Jordan Peele's movie. What was it?
They did that for
Not Nope.
Ironheart.
Yeah, they did it for Ironheart, and they did it for what was the name of that goddamn movie? Um, it was Us. Us had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that one black um critic said it was unrealistic, and that was it. The one word review was that it was unrealistic.
And
but
it
I was
brought it
like,
to
it's
like
a
a
movie.
96 or something. There's like
yeah,
another movie that someone did that. I was like, what? I
Toys,
was like, y'all
one of
ain't
the
fun.
Toy Story movies did that. There was some critic. He's like big on YouTube. Apparently, he went on there and it was one of the Toy Story movies, and it had like 100%. And then he wrote a review
I
like
think it's
basically
the third.
bashing it.
Is it the third or the second one that everyone's obsessed with?
I don't remember. I
I
want
want
to.
to say it's the third one.
I feel like it's the third one.
I
I
feel like it's
never
the
liked
third one
Toy
too.
Story, so I
Oh,
mean,
I
but
love Toy Story.
I do
I
love
I
Toy
loved it.
Story. I do. I have watched the second one. I think I maybe only watched it once or twice. I did not watch the third one because of how sad I heard it was.
The third one is sad, but
And I
it
was like,
does
ooh, I
get
don't got
better.
time for all that.
It does get better. I like the third one. It teaches kids about everything: sadness, loss, death, everything. You can
Yeah,
learn
no,
about it
I'm not
all.
watching that.
The only one I haven't watched is the fourth one. I don't understand the fourth one or what it's about. So,
The
anyways,
fourth one to me just seemed like a cash grab, and I was like, do we really need to? But apparently, they're doing Toy Story 5, so
they haven't made anything new except for Inside Out, which I love. Inside Out, I love that movie. I just want them to find something else. Like, stop remaking things or adding. Like, do something new, fresh.
I think that
Oh,
live act. I think that live action Snow White movie really kind of fucked a lot of things up for like any more live action like remakes because that tanked
that's because of
so.
the way they did it and the actress they picked to do it. And Gal Gadot blamed. Let's not.
No,
Let's not even
no,
That's
do it.
such a
no.
she's such a dumb bitch. Like,
Let's
I'm
not
so
even
mad that
fucking
she
do
was
it.
in hindsight, I'm
She
so
cast
mad that she's
her.
Wonder Woman
Ugh,
Well, apparently,
because
well, they're recasting Wonder Woman,
well, yeah,
so
they're recasting all that. But
they
I'm
have
just
to.
upsetting because she's and in hindsight and looking back because I low key randomly watched the Snyder cut not that long. I think I was like doing homework and I wanted to put it on something. I wanted to put something long on that I didn't
Hmm.
have to pay too much attention to. I was like, oh my god, this bitch couldn't act. What are we thinking? She's beautiful.
Well, she is. She is.
Oh my gosh, she's
But
horrendous actress.
Cal
beauty doesn't
El,
equate to great
no,
acting.
just
Okay. Leah said, I don't like how they did Jumba in the Lilo and Stitch reboot. I don't like Lilo and Stitch,
I don't like
the
Lilo and Stitch
original.
either, so I
you
wasn't
didn't
really
like the
tossed to
So
original.
I don't
watching.
give a shit. No.
No,
I
You
don't
know
you didn't
what
like the
movie?
original.
You know what TV show someone mentioned
I didn't give a
on
fuck about Lilo
Twitter,
and Stitch.
and I was like, I felt so validated. Someone tweeted like 27 years ago, Wild Thornberries premiered, and then someone retweeted and said like it said something about how they hated that show, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so validated because I fucking
I
hated
love the
Wild
Wild
Thornberries.
Thornberry.
I did not. I did. The only thing I liked in the Wild Thornberries was Donnie, but for like everything else, I was just like,
I hated him.
I
you hated
love
Donnie.
that show. I
I
love
hated
that
everyone.
show.
And I hated and I only person I liked was Debbie. And in hindsight, I'm more upset for her because they especially like I remember because I know I would watch it from time to time only because I would be waiting for something else to come on or or I was a kid I had nothing else better to fucking do or there was nothing else
Yeah.
better on TV
Yeah.
and there was like some episode and someone put it in there. It's like she got a chance to go to boarding school, but they basically talked her out of it because they
Out
were
of it.
quote unquote didn't want her to be separated from the family. I said she never
Yep.
wanted to live this life, that poor girl.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
And they
That's
basically
true.
made her parent fucking Eliza's crazy ass because they were always off filming that show. And I was like, that's not fair to Debbie. And then
I
Eliza was fucking annoying. I hated that monkey. I hated Donnie.
Shows. I
I
my
love
thing.
hated
that
both
show.
I literally hated everybody on that show.
No, like Eliza got to me, and I understand because at the time point, like she was a kid, so we were kind of like seeing it through her eyes because, like, but like you go back and you watch it as an adult, and you're just like, your folks told you, like, I don't know, just now being a parent, your folks told you not to wander off into the jungles of Cambodia, and what the fuck did you do? You wandered off into the jungles of Cambodia, like, and I know it's Tim Curry doing his voice, but their dad drove me absolutely insane.
Lilo
Nigel
and
drove
Stitch
me
sucked.
nuts.
Okay, it's not a good movie, and everybody keeps screaming about how great it is. That just lets me know that it's terrible.
You said 365 was a good movie, and I thought it
Hey,
sucked. So,
hey,
Oh,
listen,
I
just
forgot
because you
about
don't
no,
like
nothing about we. No one said that movie was good. We just said you
it
had to
wasn't
watch it.
good.
That's a
It
whole.
was
That was
just
a. That's a
something
different
you
frame
needed to
of
watch. And
words.
I said that these were some weird. This was some intense shit, but we didn't know we was gonna get what we got on fucking Netflix.
I never said that movie was good when everyone also I
And
said
it was
you have
Nicole's
to watch
fault.
it because it's the most insane thing I've seen in my entire life.
I blame her because we were all up and she was like, everybody shut up and turn it on Netflix and put it on 365. I said, what are you talking about?
Everybody, yeah, because this was during COVID. We had nothing else
And
better
we
to
had
do.
nothing better to do.
we were on Zoom. We were on Zoom chilling. And she was like, no, everybody shut up. Everybody go to your Netflix
I
and put it
mean,
on right now.
You were so mean.
Talking
I was
about
asleep.
it's 5 o'clock.
because if I had
No,
to
it was
like
like
that,
3.
everyone else had to deal with it. I made that
We're
as
sitting
No,
clear
there
as
and
you
I
all of
could.
a sudden, boom, falls. I said, what is happening? What just happened?
He was
I
knocking, and it's so funny because he was. That lady is so funny because he was like literally it was holding her hostage, and he was just knocking the Mario coins out of her so good.
was
Shit literally put
dead.
him in a fucking
That's
Stockholm
a
syndrome.
No
good
facts.
He was
Total
knocking the Mario
facts.
coins out of that lady. Like I'm
And
not gonna
she
lie.
fell
So
in
that's
love.
probably why she was like started to be
I'm
okay.
here
Well,
for
I
it.
mean also Stockholm syndrome because
Well,
definitely
Yeah.
not
that's
even
what's
that. It was like, I think if she had a decent boyfriend before, it wouldn't have gotten that bad. But she was dating a douche that
yeah.
wouldn't even sleep with her. Like, it was just, man, when I tell you COVID was a time,
It wasn't a good time.
Nicole
The amount of
contributed to the
free the
madness.
amount of use I would and then people always make this joke about Alison De Laurentiis on but Pretty Little Liars because like there's so much fucking lore and content from like her day the day that she disappeared and all the random crazy shit that she did. I really used all of my 24 hours in COVID. Were they productive? Not
No,
not really, honestly. Sometimes.
no, it was Animal Crossing from a 90% of it. And she gave about 2 hours to 365. So that's about it.
Yeah, I was playing Animal Crossing, I was going camping, and
You know
Yes.
what?
then I
I
watched so many stuff.
I have not
Yes, she
touched
did.
Animal Crossing since 2020.
I
Wow.
have. I beat my Animal Crossing 3 times. I love that game. I love it so much. But
No,
I wasn't saying it was a good movie. I'm just saying it's something you should watch. Especially if you're like if you're a prude and you don't like this is the kind of stuff you would read in books. It just so happened to be displayed out on TV. This is a book trope that they put on TV. Okay, so it's like what is it? Enemies to lovers, kidnapper to lovers. That's what it
Stockholm
ended up being.
syndrome.
And then it turned into like he's got a twin and she fell in love with the twin. And then it went real soap opera y, which I didn't even watch it. I just read the synopsis. I was like, I'm not going to be able to get my brain to wrap around this. I just can't. So, whatever. But listen,
It's ridiculous. Like I tried to read the Wikipedia about it because I don't think we ever got the other two movies on U.S. Netflix. But
yeah, we
like
did.
I was good.
Yeah, they're up there.
I Wikipedia that shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Where? No, uh, I got confused. I just remember there was a whole episode we did because nothing was going on in wrestling. We just did a whole episode about Tiger King.
Yes, it was awesome.
Oh,
Alexis watches
I
Twisted
forgot
Metal.
we watched Tiger King.
We
I feel
did
like
watch that.
everybody started watching it at different points. Like it was like a
Yeah, we
domino.
did. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
one
but
of the
that was a
first things I actually binge watched like the whole night, and then I had to rewatch it with Daryl, and I'm like, you are going to like, you're not going to believe that this shit's actually real, but it
we
fucking is.
sat in our group chat and talked about Tiger King for 2 fucking days. And
I just
Nicole was
love the
like, and it was because of Nicole. She is the reason why we
What?
were watching it. It was her dog.
Because
A
you're the one
Tiger
that
King?
said yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
because
you're
I'm
the
I
one
was
that
like,
said you
watching
guys
so
have
much
to watch
stuff.
this.
and she was like, y'all gotta watch this. Y'all have to watch this. I need somebody to talk to. I'm like, what are you watching? That was the first time. It was Tiger King, and then the second time was 365. And I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm not watching anything that Nicole recommends ever again. We're not doing
And then
that.
I was trying to, well, it was because I was watching so much on Netflix because I think, um, because what did I watch? I watched The Circle.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I do remember you telling us about
Which
that.
I'm like internally thankful for that show because I was like, because that's when I lived at my last place, my roommate at the time. For like the
Yeah.
first like a little bit of COVID, she would go to her boyfriend's, which I mean I don't blame her. I mean, if I was dating someone, I'd probably do that too. Like she would
Mm.
be like at her boyfriend for like days on end, so I'd be obviously like bored and you can't see anybody, couldn't do anything. So I was like, felt like I was like losing my mind and not in
Mm-hmm.
a great place. And I just like randomly found a circle and I was like, oh wow, this is like, feel good, love it, like loved it. And it like brought me back to myself. And then that's when I just started watching random shit. That was the most Netflix I've ever watched in my entire life was during lockdown.
Mm, mm, mm. Well, I will say that
I low key kind
I
of miss it.
yes, because like COVID kind of forced you to like to clamor to those who you really had a close enough relationship to talk to, and
Mm-hmm.
all of us got really close during COVID, and then like we got close as a family, so we were able to build things and still keep ourselves social. I don't think we would have been able to survive without each other because that was a
Oh
rough
no.
time.
Yeah.
That was
If
rough
all I
I
time.
had
have never been on so many Zoom calls and
right,
in my entire life. Like, I remember we used to live on Zoom. I remember one time we were on there for like 8 or 9 hours.
No, yes.
yeah, we just
Yes,
like
and then
literally.
like Nicole was so mad because we had that one call where we talked to Donnie, not Donnie's, but Maj's
I was
Dom,
so
and she
mad
was
about
so
that.
pissed.
I
She was
I
so
missed
pissed. And
that.
she was like, why did y'all wait till I went to sleep? I'm like, well, Marjorie called the man and he came in and talked to us. He did it twice, and Nicole missed it twice, and she was so mad. She was so upset.
I was like,
But
Well,
someone should have
yeah,
called me because that's real crazy.
if it makes you feel better, Nicole, I missed both calls too because no one decided to wake my ass up because y'all
your
were up
ass
till
would
like.
not wake up. Don't even try it, Alexis. You know I would put the damn call in your account. I get it to Nicole and I put it in the group chat. So it
Okay,
would go off. Now if you turn your phone to mute, that's not my fault.
my
That's
phone.
your
First off,
fault.
my phone's not on mute. Secondly, if you had called me and said, "Hey Alexis, wake up," Maj's Dom's gonna be talking to us, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna give it. I'd probably be like half asleep, and then we
I
hear some
didn't
wild
even
shit,
know
and I'd be
he was
like, wait a
coming
minute, now I'm up.
in.
I'm
Marjorie,
awake.
the way that it happened, Marjorie was sitting there and we would, you know how we did. We would talk about what he did for that day. Because we always did the thing on Thursday. It'd be right after he went to go see the man. So
Hmm.
he came in that night and he was telling us about what he experienced that day. He freaked us out. I think it was either when he first started with the knife play or the fire play.
I think it was a nice play.
I can't remember, but he freaked us out. And I was just like, I need to understand what is happening because I'm scared. And he was like, I can bring him in to talk to you. I said, what? He was like, yeah, I'll call him. I was like, wait a minute. Marjorie left, gave the man the link, called him, and both of them came in together. And I was just like, hey. And we all were sitting there
Oh.
talking to him. And the part that I'll say this when he talks, he doesn't command a lot of like he's not coming in like a dom when he talks to you, but when he's talking, you're paying attention. Marjorie immediately, yes sir, no sir, didn't speak unless he was spoken to. I was like, well, damn, I need this kind of motherfucking power. Where they teach you how to get this shit at? I said, that. So I asked the question. I said, what exactly does this do? Because Marjorie said it's not sexual. He said, for some people it is, for others it isn't. He said he had a man come in that just needed to cry. So he would help him cry. He said he had one lady, he said, like for you, if your husband wasn't as affectionate, then you would probably come and see me and I would be your intimacy. I would give you your pedicure, your manicure, the massage. I might give you a head massage. I might cuddle or hold you, but that's not sexual, which is fair. It isn't.
Damn,
And
that
I
sounds actually
said,
pretty like now.
I
Nothing
said,
even
okay, but
close.
I don't need all of that. I said, I don't need all that. I already get that from my husband. He was like, well, you're a very lucky lady because not everybody has that. So sometimes I'm not always there for the sexual side. That's a stereotype. He said, sometimes I'm there for the things that they can't get in therapy. And sometimes I need to physically do it rather than just talking about it with the therapist. So I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. I said, is Marjorie safe? Because that's my only issue. Is every time I talk to him, he's upping the ante on what he's doing. And it sounds more and more dangerous to me. He said, everything we do is safe. There's a safe word for these things. I always walk them through how we're going to do it. We always have a conversation. It's not just I'm going to throw you into the fire and we just dive into it. He said there's a process that we have to go through with me building trust and working our way through up to these things. And I said, okay. I said, okay, as long as you don't hurt Marjorie, because then you're going to have to come see me then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have a problem. He was like, he said, he talks about y'all all the time. And he said, I understand why you're very close to him. I said, you be talking about me. He said, all good things. I was like, oh,
Oh.
okay. I was like, oh, all right, then.
And then here's Maj. She's like, yeah, we got this one white girl. She's fucking weird, but we're like too afraid to tell her to go away.
He said he talked about all of us, and
Oh.
like he said he understands that y'all are very, very close, and he just, he understands why you were concerned. So he said he would explain it. I think we talked to him twice. It was the first time
It
and then the
was
second
twice.
time. Yeah, because the second time Janae asked questions then. I didn't ask any questions. And I was on camera then because the first time he wanted all of us to be on camera so he could see our faces. And I was like,
I
I don't know you like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, that's a little story. So, and I don't remember if Don is still in here. I don't remember if Don was in the first one or the second one. I don't remember. But I know Kenny left. Kenny
was in both.
Kenny stayed for a few minutes and then she bounced. She bounced.
Kenny's like, Kenny's that Vine where the guy just gives the peace sign and they just fade out.
Well, when it came to like the sexual stuff, Kenny wasn't interested, which was fine, because Marjorie ain't got no filter. He just showed you everything.
Or shame.
He has no filter, none. So I think the third time we were going to talk to him is Nicole was adamant that she wanted to be there. So we talked to Marjorie and the guy had got injured with one of his clients and he couldn't come. And I think shortly after that, we started being able to go back outside and we stopped doing the Zooms as much. I don't even know if Marjorie still sees Dom.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either. I don't think he does. But he was a nice dude. I'll give him that. He was really nice, very smart, just very articulate, and he had a presence. It wasn't like overbearing, but you can tell that he commanded a certain level of respect when he talked. And Marjorie responded instantly. It was like night and day. He never said a word unless that man mentioned his name or said something to him. And I was just like, so we gonna pretend like you ain't. I was like, so when he left, I was like, so Marjorie. We gonna act like you didn't just fall in line when that man came in this chat. He was like, what? I'm like, I'm just saying. You was real quiet, baby. You was real quiet. Anyways, it was a fun time. Anyways, we've been on here for 3 hours, so I'm gonna let the girls go, and we're gonna finish this out like I always finish it out with SPC chat. And yeah,
All right. I used to be a party pooper, but I'm gonna tap out first because I have a small child to take to school tomorrow. So,
go ahead. Have a
and
good
a
night.
husband that, well, as long as I don't kill my husband tomorrow from lack of nicotine, it's all good. But
Find something else to obsess over besides the nicotine, ma'am.
well, what should I
You do
do?
not
Start
need
drinking again?
cigs. You don't need the cigs. You don't need them. No. Do something else.
You're not my supervisor.
Have you tried vaping?
Yeah. Oh,
I don't.
that's even worse.
I don't like vaping. I just if I don't get the same. It's okay. It's not even like it's like not even the nicotine withdrawal because I've quit cold turkey so many times it doesn't affect me. And it's not the taste and it's not the smell. It's like the act of doing it. That's the hard
So
shit
why don't you
to
try
break.
Fume? There's a little habit building thing called Fume, and they
Mm-hmm.
have like flavor packets for it. There's no nicotine, there's nothing. You can use it like a fidget spinner or whatever, but you also can like use it to kind of give you the act of smoking without smoking. Just look up Fume and you'll see.
The last
They
time I
have
tried to quit, last time I tried to quit smoking, I told my mom, and she's like, "Well, what did you do last time?" I said, "Well, that's when I started hitting the gym, and then COVID hit, and couldn't go to the gym anymore. So,
well,
and
you can go to
now
the gym now.
I know because I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, ooh, I've been really eating the post cigarette snacks like really, really hard. It just it sucks. It's like that's the thing. It's not even um it's like not even just like the craving for the nicotine. It's just like the oh, I can go outside and it's nice out and oh, it's raining and I don't know. And my
So
fucked
why
up
don't you
head is
give yourself a reason to do those things? Like just go for a walk. Take Odie out for a walk. You know,
you are. What are you
it's some.
talking about?
I'm just saying, like you could go outside. He could take him with you, or you can drive to a dog park if you really want to do something different. And you get a little craving, you just go for a little short walk. Come back home.
I'll try that because I need something right now. I mean, like I tried vaping and it's not for me. And like,
They put stuff in those vape pens, and I don't like that. That's
I
worse
mean,
than fucking smoking.
I'm not trying to come down on anyone who does use vapes, but like, and I know it's gonna be like, well, you were putting toxic stuff into your body. Yes, I know, but I also wasn't sucking on battery acid too, because I've had too many people tell me, oh yeah, my vape's like battery started leaking, and I'm like, I don't think that's how it's supposed to happen, man.
No, but that probably is from overusage. I just don't want I don't want people using vape pens because that stuff it's like getting metal in your lungs. It's messing with people's lungs really, really bad.
Well, see, the fucked up thing is like people. I was reading this a couple days ago, and I'll say this, and then I gotta go to bed. But I was reading a couple days ago where people, not even a couple days ago, a couple years ago actually, where people are getting more addicted to vapes because they think it's like one of those things where it's like you can like do it in places where you're not supposed to smoke, even though vaping is considered smoking, because they'll just take it
Yeah.
out and they'll hit it. Like when my last job at the restaurant, people were doing like that. I'm like, what the fuck, man? People are like eating, and
Because
they
they're
think because
they're getting around it saying vaping isn't smoking, but it
it's.
it is.
I don't want to. If I'm at the movies,
People are
spending,
starting to ban it. There's like a lot. There's like quite a few places in my area where you can't vape inside.
Yeah.
but
Yep.
then they'll complain. But like what Tiff was saying, they'll complain. It's like, well, it's not really. Look, I don't care if I'm out somewhere with my family or if I'm going somewhere like for myself and treating myself to something nice for the day. I don't want to smell your tutti frutti, fresh and fruity bullshit that you blowing out from like a tank the size of my fucking fist. No, because have you seen some of those
Whoa.
babies? They're huge.
This
I'm
is
like, are we
nuts.
doing the cell phones again? Like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
All right, well, I'm gonna
All
go to bed.
right.
Y'all have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later on the flip side. Don't smoke, kids.
Same. I will also
Bye.
have to get out of here because I have to work in the morning.
All right, Nicole. We'll see you later.
Have fun reading that mess you're about to read.
I'm gonna take a short break and I'll be back, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Ooh.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't designed. Time. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it.
If I ever heard one, and I'm still here outside, front line, south side. I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, that sound like a fair trade to me. Rolling 80 wheels in a safety. Riding on you. Gotta roll OT, gotta give her release. Spread your legs downtown, so I'm going out to eat. Hit the raw sounds when the rock up in your sleep. I'ma roll on the forever, let her roll on me. Split this one down the middle, wake up in harmony.
A claps. Don't close your eyes to get away. Just make my mind and I'll arrange it. Beautiful, girl, you're stainless. You'll be fine, I'll be painless, yeah. All I'm drinking is champagne. All you want is the same thing.
Yeah. The 10,000 building, get your ass an apartment, put you inside a G-class, that's just a start. It get plenty things count in life, but none of them is the thought of it. New piece around my neck, this chess games, but shorty stay with calculated moves like Beth Harmon. Swear I'm more purple rain Prince than Prince Charming. Disappointment, I stay expecting it. The pessimist, gold medalists, flush the magnums just so they not collecting my specimens down.
A claps.
Okay. This whole time, my microphone was off. Wild shit. So, listen. I'm going to go over NXT really quickly before we get into SBC chat because that is just what we do. Okay? Now, for those of you who are from over on Down for the Counts page, we usually do SBC chat at the end of the show. So if you don't want to hear SBC chat, by all means, babe, please go ahead and go to sleep. It's fine. It's 11:30 at night. I usually end the show at about 11:30, 12, sometimes at 1, depending on if Hiram gonna come in here and tell us if he fucking up again. But I'm kidding, Hiram. You know I love you. But anyways, so I usually end the show at about 11:30, 12 anyway. Okay? So let's get into this mess. The show for NXT was pretty damn good. NXT has some really good setups for feuds and matches heading into NXT's No Mercy, which is supposed to happen on September 27th, if I recall. So Jada Parker and Lash Legend open up the show. Okay. Because it's true, babe. Jada Parker and Lash Legend open up the show. Let me tell y'all something. As much as I love two black women fighting and having a good time and being the opener and setting the tone and doing what they always do, creating spaces, giving women the tease, doing everything that they got going on, I am getting sick and tired of Jada Parker and her bullshit. Okay, now Lash Legend beat Jada Parker. Clean, fair and square. But because Jada Parker is a sore loser, yes, I said it and I'll say it again. The bitch is a sore loser. She decided to attack Lash at the end of the match and put the hypnotic through the barricade on her. Let me tell y'all something. All of this grandstanding she keep doing and everything is not going to get her closer to that championship. She's still going to be behind the curve. And I'm sorry, but the only reason why y'all motherfuckers cheer for her so much is because she light skinned and she got a big ass. I said it and I say it again. I don't care about what you're talking about. She's not that great of a wrestler. Her wrestling is subpar at best. And if we're being fair, we're being honest, Lash Legend is ahead of her in character work and in wrestling work. So I am not understanding why you are putting all of your eggs in Jada Parker's basket when you should be putting half of them in fucking Lash's basket, especially since she's been there longer. The crowd has been one of those girls for years. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do, though, because it is what it is, I guess. Now, Javon Evans came out there to address the crowd after his loss to Obafemi. He wasn't exactly happy about it. And of course, everybody was, waiting to hear what Javon Evans had to say. And I'm sure Javon felt like he let down The Undertaker, he let down the fans, and he let himself down. Well, Josh Briggs decided he didn't want to hear that bullshit. So he came out there. Not only did he use The Undertaker's entrance and music to swerve and mess with Javon Evans, he came out there and took a chair, beat up Javon, told Javon that he's either going to be talking or he going to have to go out there and fight. You can't do both. And so he got the chair, put Javon Evans back first through the chair. This is after Javon Evans was in 1 week thrown onto the announcer's table, second week thrown into the announcer's table. He had a week of rest and then he come back and get slammed on a fucking chair. All because Josh Briggs when he gets to the dance, can't seem to make it past getting the damn championship. Now, Josh Briggs has had more championships than most people, more championship opportunities than most people can count. And yet and still he has not been able to accumulate a title. So he wants to take his attitude out on everybody else. Because not only did Javon Evans suffer because of Josh Briggs, but so did fucking Andre Chase of Chase U, which I really don't understand, but go off, King. Anyway, the first leg of the tournament for the women's speed title tournament kicked off this week. Candice LeRae took on TNA's Xia Brookside, to which Candice LeRae was able to beat her with 31 to 29 seconds left on the clock. She was able to pick up the W, and she has advanced in the tournament. Now, DIY came out there because Trick Williams was out there grandstanding again, talking about he's the greatest person in NXT history. NXT next week is going home to Full Sail, and it's going to be great because of him. Blah, 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 blah. DIY came out there and said, listen, there have been some great people that have walked through that curtain and walked through these halls, me and motherfucking Champa included. Okay? Now, we built this place so that you could thrive and be at the top of the mountain, but you mad disrespectful. And you crazy if you think that this place won't survive without you. Trick Williams wasn't trying to hit it. So while he tried to attack, DIY went on ahead and took his ass out. You know what I'm saying? They went on ahead and shook his ass up. You know what I'm saying? Now, Jordan Grace's situation was a little bit unique and interesting. Jordan Grace had came into the backstage area, and of course, Blake Monroe was back there talking to somebody. I didn't get to see the full segment, but as soon as she came back there, she walked over there to Blake, and Blake didn't run this time. They both started possibly getting ready to fight. Callie got up out of nowhere and was like, here you come, coming in here starting shit. When in all actuality, Jordan didn't go in there to hit Blake. She came in the room and said, there you are. You finally can't run nowhere. So they was talking. Or it looked like they was getting ready to talk. I don't know why Callie decided she had to put her nose in somebody else's business. It was very, very much left field because, bitch, you was sitting down on a bench where you need to stay. Mind your fucking business, ho. Who called you? Nobody called you. Okay? Now, Kelly was like, here you come in here bringing all this bullshit. You did this the last time I had a match. You came in there and messed it up. And now here you come in here disrupting what we got going on in here. She was like, nah, because see, you ain't got to worry about having no problem with Blake Monroe. Because now you got a problem with Kelly Armstrong. But that ass got real quiet when you was in the middle of the ring, laid down, looking up at the lights because you got your ass whooped by Jordan Grace. It's all talk. You talk that bullshit, but then you can't back that shit up. Girl, sit your ass down somewhere. Nobody's saying that you ain't good at what you do, Callie. You are, but bitch, nobody was talking to you. Mind your business. If you had a problem with Jordan Grace, let it be the problem with Jordan Grace. Don't involve the fact that she got an issue with Blake Monroe, because if your ass been paying attention, you know why the hoe don't like Blake Monroe. She very much should have a problem with Blake Monroe. But since you decided to throw you and your two braids in the midst of their problems, you got your ass whooped for your troubles. And this time, Blake Monroe was not running. She brought her ass out there to the fight. Okay? And them hoes started battling, and Blake's mouth was bleeding. That lady was dripping blood. I said, oh, what the fuck? Don't know what happened there. I just know it was a lot of blood dripping, and Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe was being pulled off each other. It was a lot going on. Okay? Now, like I told y'all, Josh Briggs, duckfoot looking ass, went out there, had a match with Andre Chase, and not only did he beat up Andre Chase, but he also beat up Uriah and Kale and just decimated them. Now, Booker T was on commentary being a really big pansy ass bitch for Josh Briggs. I don't understand why. Because prior to this, he was giving Josh Briggs all types of hell. Okay? Talking cash shit about Josh Briggs. Now, Josh Briggs done involved himself in some shit with Javon Evans that had nothing to do with him. Because truth be told, Josh Briggs, you lost your opportunity at the championship too. Why didn't you go after fucking Ricky Saints and beat him up? I'm confused. Because my thing is, you out here grandstanding talking about Javon Evans' loss and giving him all this flack about not living up to what the Undertaker said. But you haven't even lived up to the standard that's been set for you, honey. And you've been in NXT longer than Javon Evans has. Huh? What? Oh, okay. Like, don't do that. Now, the main event was set. It was Hank and Tank and Obafemi and Ricky Saints. It was an 8-man tag team match set up for this match, okay? And while Obafemi and Ricky Saints had their little tee-off earlier in the night, they ended up going back for back, bar for bar, and it was nasty, okay? So this obviously was not going to work with Ricky Saints and Obafemi being able to work together. It didn't. It ended up with those two fighting and leaving the arena, to which Hank and Tank ended up having to defend their team on their own. Now, they were able to get the other members of Dark State out of the ring, and it was just left to Cutler. Okay. Now, Cutler was like, "You ain't got no help. Your team is gone. It's just you and Tank. Y'all ain't shit." And so Hank did the only thing he knew how to do. He called Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry popped up, aided him in the save, and that led to Hank and Tank, Ricky Saints, and Obafemi picking up the win with the alley from Joe Hendry. Because all you got to do is say his name and he will appear. We love that for us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was NXT. Now, I know I'm skipping over some stuff, but baby, listen. That's all I remember. The only other thing that happened was Tavion going up against Ethan Page or flag versus flag match. I hate that. I don't want to see that. That's not something I care about. But the two men are supposedly doing that, and okay, sure, whatever makes you happy. Now, like I told you before, like a glove, we're going to be going into SBC chat. SBC chat is simply the internet's mess. It is a cesspool of mess. If you guys care, stick around and listen. If not, I appreciate you for coming by, and I will see you next time. I will be back on Friday after SmackDown, because that proves to be truly an amazing time over on SmackDown. We got John Cena, more than likely CM Punk, and maybe some more surprises down the road. Now, there was one thing I forgot to mention when it came to the movies, is that good old Cody Rhodes is in the midst of filming Street Fighter, which is why he hasn't been on TV, including the fact that he had a baby recently with his wife, Brandy. So, shit's been getting real, okay? They seem to be in the midst of filming, and Roman is written off TV, so he's probably headed out to filming for his part in Akuma. A lot of people were speculating if his part is going to be pretty big, how long he's going to be out. I don't think his part is going to be that big. I think that he's going to have like parts where he's going to feud with their master, parts where he's going to be like, I don't know, speaking in Ryu's ear to kind of sway him to the dark side. But I don't think that that is going to be an influential thing that these two are going to be interacting with that much. Plus, there's a cast picture, and there's no M. Bison, and there's no Akuma in that cast picture, which leads me to believe that they either film their parts separately and they're not filmed together, and these guys all film their parts together. So, it is what it is. But anyways, let's get into question 1. Shall we? We shall. All right. Question number 1. I messed myself up real good this time. I've been going to my fave spot in Chinatown for years. In January 2021, a fellow male patron asked me out. He's built, tattooed, and Korean, a rich gang leader. And he's not the kind of man I could say no to. The spa owner, a good friend, vouched for him. We had several one-night stands, and I was just having fun. I broke things off abruptly because I got pregnant. My side knew the baby was his. I told him it was my husband's. I've been married for 3 years. We both black. I gave birth to our baby in December. This baby is Tiger Woods. My husband posted pics everywhere. It's a running joke in our family that our baby looks Asian. It's all fun and games now, but I fear someone is going to do a DNA test on our child behind my back. I don't go to the spa anymore, and my ex side is getting bolder in his demands. He wants me to bring his baby to meet his family, or he threatened we can come to your house and meet my son there. I don't know what to do. Girl. Sweetheart. You better take that man his baby. You better take that man his baby. Are you crazy? Ma'am. Like, here's my thing. Like, my whole thing is like, why would you like You have a child with this man. You know that this is his baby. And he is a gangster. He's not somebody that you could just play with. You know what I'm saying? So just let that man tell your husband the truth. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, because at this point it's very clear that you didn't respect your marriage enough to not cheat on him. So you need to tell your husband the truth. The truth now. Not something you made up, not something you want him to believe. Tell him the truth. And then allow him to decide if he wants to stay there or not. Because you're real dirty for having a baby with another man and then pinning this baby on your husband. And then everybody in the family is like, this baby look Asian. Like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, we must have real good. We got Asian genes. We got Asian. No, sis, you do not. And if I know black folks like you know black folks, none of them jokes is funny. All of them jokes is being said to get you to test this child. You understand what I'm saying, babe? Because you know how old people are. Girl, you better go test that baby. You better make sure that's your baby. Son, don't be no fool now. And this man is a gangster. You're saying this man is a thug. We're not about gangsters, but we are against those thugs. Okay? I don't understand. It's either you want to keep your life or you don't. At least you will be alive and taken care of. This man will take care of his child. Tell that man that baby ain't his. Let him be free. And make sure that gangster take care of your child. You don't care how he get the money, as long as he get the goddamn money. And you take care of your son. Okay? Now, before you said this was not the kind of man that you say no to. He would have learned what that was immediately. Fucking around with me. I would have been like, ooh, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. So you need to get your ducks in a row, tell your husband the truth, and then let your baby daddy see his son. I know it sounds bad, but it's either that or he come to your house and blow your shit up. And you really don't want this man to come to your house because, girl, if he comes to your house, your whole life is destroyed. That's it. That's all. Question number 2. My boyfriend has a 2-year-old daughter that he's always dumping on me when it's our date night. I don't have kids. I don't want kids. I prefer not to date a man with kids. But here we are. So his baby mama is always ready to fight me for trying to take care of her child. She dropped her daughter off without a diaper bag, so I brought diapers and changed her as needed. The baby mama was ready to fight because her daughter is allergic to the brand of diapers I bought. We went to the zoo. I put sunscreen on the baby and bought her a little hat. His baby mama slashed my tire for touching her daughter's face. I said, okay, fuck it. Boyfriend and I were at the beach, and I dropped her daughter off in his lap. I did not engage with the child at all. Boyfriend sat her in the sand next to me, and I wasn't babysitting, so I put her in his arms and I left. That night, the baby was covered in mosquito bites from head to toe. Baby mama accused me of abandonment, child abuse, child endangerment, etc. because I left the child with her father, and she posted mosquito bite pics on Facebook. Again, I wasn't there. He wants to see me again and wants to make us wants us to make our own baby. I miss him, but I can't tolerate his baby mama. So let me get this right. The baby daddy is irresponsible. Instead of the baby mama blaming the baby daddy, she blames you. Meanwhile, she drops her daughter off at your house with no diapers. And then gets mad that the girl done got a rash from wearing the wrong type of diapers. Girl, if you don't leave this man in the gutter where you found him and his fucking baby mama, both of them big motherfuckers are slow. Okay? Because what are you talking about? I would not be giving a fuck about none of that. She posting the baby on Facebook and the baby got mosquito bites. I would have commented, his daddy was there. I was gone. How is this my fault? Child endangerment, this is not my child. You were not putting him in my custody or care. That baby was in your baby daddy's custody and care. The child endangerment is on his part, honey. Don't try and play me. I will block him, block that bitch he fucking with. He would never see me or hear from me again because what you're not about to do is defame my character. I would be putting all types of lives and videos up on Facebook, blasting her busted ass. And this will be the last fight that she would ever have with me because I will beat her ass to unrecognizable. I will be tearing her ass apart. No, absolutely not. We're not even dignify that with no bullshit. Like, you need to leave his ass alone. Leave him alone and go find somebody else. Because what are you talking about? Talking about you miss him. What do you miss? He's a loser. Period. Brandy, you be right there with me. I do not know. I don't know what's going on. I have no recollection. I have nothing to say. Don't be a pregnant fool is a good one. Question number 3. We moved into my father's house. He passed away. And an older white couple lives next door. They're kind and helpful. The husband pays my man to do small repairs, and the wife likes to sit in the yard and talk. They used to be swingers back in the day. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Please don't let it go where I think it's going to go. Please. Wife texted my man, look out the window. I'm sunbathing my kitty. He replied, she tastes as good as she looks. Her. You tell me. My man said he's just playing. I confront the wife in front of her husband about the text messages. Husband, text messages? Do you want to see our tapes? He sleeps with both of us. He says you were cool with it. Oh, I need y'all to see what this says. I need y'all to see that. Okay. I need y'all to focus on what that says. Okay. Look at it. Look at it. Read it. Y'all, in this day and age, I'm not even surprised. I ran out of their house. I didn't confront my man because I'm afraid to know the truth. He's been in prison. Women get deleted for asking about a man's bisexuality. I asked him to stay away from her. He responded, if her man needs me to do some work, I'm getting that money. He would be out my house and he can go live over there. Girl, you're afraid of what? Because I can tell you right now, a Smith & Wesson will stop all of that. I would give him a 30-day notice. You and I are no longer together. You got 30 days to get your shit, get out of my house, and find somewhere else to go. If you do not comply within 30 days, I will call the sheriff. If the sheriff don't remove you, I promise you this Glock that I got is going to take care of all of that. Okay? Don't make me get violent. Don't make me have to defend myself. I don't give a fuck about what you like, what you don't like, who you with, who you not with. If you want to whore yourself out, that's your business. But you're not going to do it out of my house. Matter of fact, call the police because soliciting is illegal. You cannot be a whore legally unless you live in Nevada and got a license. If you ain't got a license, you can't be no slut. And you can't say it's recreational because the man is paying you to do the shit. So I would call the police. Policia, policia, policia. I would call the cops. I needed y'all to see that. I needed y'all to see what I saw. Okay? I need you to see what I saw. Question number 4. I fell in love with an unemployed, certified e-beggar stuck between a midlife crisis and a TikTok trend. She hasn't worked in a year. She's including me in her story times. She cries and begs for money while telling her followers that I'm an abuser, forcing her to live on the street. After I found out she was pregnant, all lies. She says she's just making money, but she's putting my face out there as a demon. What to do? Expose her on TikTok like she's trying to expose you. Expose her. Like, are you special needs? Like, what's happening? You're dating a girl and she's lying about you being abusive to make money on TikTok. So just expose her. She already put your face out there, fam. Like, this is an easy fix. Just tell everybody the truth. Or film her in her everyday life. Like, this hoe was a liar. Like, she literally went to Starbucks with y'all money today. I was trying to knock her out. Like, what are you talking about? No. Should be sour cream downstairs in the refrigerator. I don't have none up here. Attention, pickpocket. You got the rest of the internet to expose her with. I mean, I'm just saying, like, TikTok works both ways. You could have easily put her out there right then and there. I would have filmed everything she was doing. Sometimes I feel social media is poison because a lot of people share too much on there. Well, there is a such thing as an e-beggar. They do it on TikTok all the time. They just sit there and talk and people get them money. Question number 5. My 3-year-old is quiet. She speaks a few words here and there. To save money, we moved in with my new boyfriend in a 2-flat apartment. One family lives upstairs, we live downstairs, and we all share the kitchen. Within a few months, the mom upstairs told me that my daughter gets out of bed, sits at the bottom of the stairs, talking to Rosie. Rosie isn't real, of course, but my daughter says Rosie is hurt. Rosie fell down. Rosie is sad. My daughter told me my boyfriend is a bad man because he hurt Rosie. One night, I followed her. Sure enough, my daughter is having a convo by herself. She's laughing, and then she spins her head around to tell me, Rosie says you gotta go. While I'm watching her, my boyfriend was watching both of us. That night, he asked us to get out. Right then and there. It was 2:48 in the morning. The mom in the upstairs apartment let us stay for a few hours while I lined up a place to stay. I told her what happened. She told me that there was another woman who lived with my boyfriend and he beat her often. The last time he pushed her down the stairs and broke her ankle. She was a dancer and got hooked on pain meds. The woman graduated to hard drugs and overdosed in my boyfriend's apartment. He never mentioned it. The woman's name was Rochelle, but everybody called her Rose. I asked him about Rose. He didn't reply. I'm dating someone else now, and my daughter says, Rosie likes him, Mom. What the fuck is going on? Why and how do children do this? And should I be worried? Glory. What you looking for? Okay, so why you ain't just ask me to turn the light on, babe? Hold on, y'all. So this one is scary. This is some Halloween shit. They should have saved this one for Halloween, baby. I don't know what you're looking for. Uh-oh. Sorry. There it is. All right. Crystal said them Gatorades are juniors. Did it fall in there?
No.
All right. Well, they need to call a priest or maybe CPS. I have no words. The battlers are the worst. Well, okay. So some children can see spirits that have not moved on. Some spirits attach themselves to people. I think that little girl saw her and that lady didn't leave, but she ended up following them because the little girl is, somebody nice for her to talk to, and the little girl can actually talk to her. I think eventually she will go on her own way. I think that this happens more often than not, but not everybody can see spirits like that. I do believe that these types of spirits exist. It's a little scary, a little creepy, but it's possible. I don't think that it is anything to harm the child, but I do think that she was warned before things got out of hand for her. And the man told her to leave, mainly because that little girl knew more than what he wanted her to know. And I think that God sends signs to everybody that he wants to save. It's the best way to explain it. And she was spared. Now the little girl, probably eventually Rosie will go on and do whatever she got to do. But yeah, it's scary. It's a little creepy, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. I've heard stories and from my family members, from friends. I've heard stories before. I've never experienced anything supernatural, but I have heard stories. I really don't want to experience anything supernatural. Please don't bother me. Please. I am a scary bitch and I scare very easily. So please let me alone. Just let me live my life and I'll leave you alone. Question number 6. Took my woman to see the Chris Brown concert. She was there to see Chris. I was there to see his dancer, Taylor Terry. Performance was hot. I leaned in behind my woman to grind her, and what is this I feel? A fucking diaper. She wore an adult diaper to Chris Brown concert so she wouldn't have to use a public bathroom. And that was the most unsexiest thing I've ever seen. And I'm not attracted to her anymore. Grown women don't do that. And turn around and ask me to put my face down there. She's mad because I yelled about the diaper and other people heard me. She wants an apology. I'm emotionally scarred. Still go soft when I look at her. Who's right? This is Taylor Terry that he went to go see. This is one of Chris Brown's dancers. She the one who choreographed Sierra's music video. Girl, that's crazy because I can't do that. I cannot. Okay, first of all, wearing an adult diaper to a concert isn't that uncommon. It's actually pretty smart. I'm not mad at it. And I feel like you weird as hell for saying that you go soft every time you see her or every time you're around her, because what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about, sir? What is happening? Bro, right. Like, you knew what she was wearing it for. Like, are we 12? Are we stupid? Like, come on, son. Like, you can't be serious. You just can't. Like, that is just way too dumb for me. It's not that deep. It really isn't. And I'm like, you very well could have just been like ask like, baby, you got a diaper on, and then you said it in front of everybody. You embarrassed the girl, and you going soft over a diaper is crazy when you niggas don't even wash your ass cheeks. You leave shit crumbs in the bed, my guy. Please go straight to hell. You literally don't want to wash your ass because you think it's gay. And you out here talking about some, I go soft over a diaper? Over a diaper, nigga? Do you know how long it would have taken her to get to the bathroom and come back? Do you know how nasty them bathrooms are at the concert? I don't fucking blame her. Child, she can wash her ass. How about you wipe the dick cheese from under your balls first? And then we can have a conversation. Ugh. I hate people sometimes. Listen, SBC chat is not always messy, but we had a good mix of mess, funny, stupid, and just flat out ignorance. He asked who was right. The girlfriend was right. He was wrong. Plain and simple. Easy money. Oh, not you used to be that flexible. I can't do that. I think if I stretch, I might be able to get half of that. Half of it is crazy. But shit, being upside down like that and then stretching before or after I pass out, nigga. I ain't trying to die upside down with my cootie cat in the air. I'm not trying to do that. I'm okay with being upright. All that blood rushing to your head, every bit of your weight coming down on your neck. Child. I'm not doing that. My husband just gonna have to love me for the way I are. Okay, I can't do that. And y'all better not be out here doing that shit either. Is you crazy? Is you crazy though? Anyways, y'all, listen. I'm gonna get my ass up out of here. We've been on here for almost 4 hours. This is some OG shit because I usually don't do pod. I don't do the shows past 2 hours no more. But baby, we got some new stuff coming down the pike for you. Brandy said it's crazy how boys be thinking it's weird to crack to the it's weird to the crack of their ass, but yet they be having their ass hanging out, pants sagging. I mean, she said some things are better left unsaid. Okay, Kayla. You meant to wash my their ass? Okay. Good night, Kayla. Good night. Good night. Okay. So I got one more thing to tell you. One more thing to tell y'all. We got a new show coming, and my members are going to be the first ones to see it. It is going to be called Wrestle Eats. I am going to be cooking your superstars' favorite meals, their cheat meals, some of their favorite dishes. We're going to be talking about them, and it's just going to be me and the hubs for this first episode. And if I can get my friend Marcel to come over, I might have him come over and do a couple episodes with me. But we're going to be doing Wrestle Eats, and the first 3 to 4 episodes are going to be wrestlers' cheat meals. We all know that the wrestlers have a stickler for the diet because they have to keep their bodies intact, honey. Okay, so they can maintain their stamina so that they're not too heavy. Some of them are naturally heavy and just are, but they also work out to increase stamina, muscle mass, and still be able to keep up with their counterparts. Wrestling, if not anything else, it bears you to be an athletic human being. Can be a wrestler and not be able to have some athleticism or at least have stamina. So wrestlers really stick to a really strict diet. Guys like Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Charlotte Flair, their bodies are insane. So they have a really strict regimen and they really work hard at keeping themselves together. Because being on the road, you can easily get caught up in the trap of eating nothing but garbage. So the first couple of episodes is going to be their cheat meals, and we're going to be making some pretty cool meals. Okay. Now some of the wrestlers are pretty bland and mundane with their cheat meals, so we're gonna judge it up just a little bit for one last piece of the cheat meal, and then we're gonna do the next episode for cheat meals, and we're gonna add some new stuff in there, and then we're gonna do another episode for cheat meals. There's also going to be a segment on Russell Eats where we talk about eating like a superstar, where we're going to focus on one superstar's particular meals that they love. And I have a list of superstars that love certain foods. And if you know some superstars' favorite foods or their favorite meals or things they love to eat, whether it just be grapes or chicken or cheese or whatever, send it to me. You guys can always post on my community tab. I will put a message out there and let you guys know. Me and AJ are going to be filming the very first episode of Wrestle Eats this month, and it will come out next month in October. Okay, because I'm not going to be able to edit it and get it out as fast. So we're going to film it this month and then put it out next month in October. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. This is going to be a labor of love, but my members are going to get access to this first. And then they're going to tell me which superstars they want me to put on the segment of Eat Like a Superstar first, because I got a whole list of superstars I'm going to have them pick between, and we're going to go ahead and get that video filmed after we get done with the cheat meals and everything else. So this is going to be a labor of love because it combines the two things that I love the most, which is cooking and wrestling. Okay, I'm going to give you guys my recipes, run through everything that we're doing. We're going to make a few things. So this is going to be an all-day thing for my husband. So y'all better be very happy because my husband is not going to be a happy man. The only reason why he's going to be happy is because he get to eat. Okay? But he promised he would help me. So y'all better say thank you. Okay? Because that's the only way I'm going to get him to keep on helping me is I have to feed him. That's how I have to pay him. In love and in food, child. Okay? I have to bribe him. The only thing I can't do is hit the splits. Oh, I can do a split, Hiram. That's never been an issue. It's just I have to stretch first. I can't just do a damn split out of nowhere. So, y'all make sure y'all stick around for that. And if you want to get your access to these videos first and decide which videos I make next, you got to be a member, man. And being a member gets you exclusive content. You get to have access to all of the past lives that are up. I locked all of those behind the member wall, so nobody else can see them except for y'all. And I have, I'm going to start putting out some content produced specifically for you guys. I just want to come up with a specific segment for you guys. I'm also going to be doing Wrestle Eats, and then we're going to be doing Wrestle Looks. Wrestle Looks is going to be coming up soon. I'm going to start filming for that and get that out for Halloween because I know a lot of people want to be able to start their looks for Halloween, whether it be Naomi or whether it be Jade, whether it be Stephanie Vaquer or any of those people. Like, I'm going to do my best to try to replicate those looks as quickly as possible. I'm going to start this week to get those looks done. It's going to be right after my sister does my hair. I'm going to start with the first look, which I think I'm going to start with Naomi's look first because it's yellow and it's easier to work with. But we're going to have so much stuff coming out on the channel. I promise you, you guys are going to love it. In December, we're going to take a small break because my birthday is in December. And of course, it's going to be Christmas. And then we're going to be right back at it. The podcast for Down for the Count is going to go on break after Survivor Series. That is when we break every year. And then we'll regroup and come back in January after Royal Rumble. And we are right back where we started. Okay? So, a lot of stuff is coming down the pike. I promise y'all are going to enjoy the channel. It's going to be great. Wrestle Eats is going to be a fun time. It's going to be amazing. And I really want you guys to really get it together and love it and focus on it. And we're going to include everything. Like, I got, video footage of their Waffle House orders that I'm going to recreate. I wrote down everything that I can find from articles, from videos, and everything of all these different wrestlers' favorite meals and different foods. And I decided if I couldn't find their favorite meals and foods, that I would cook the food from their ethnic background. So you've got Joaquin Phoenix. He's Filipino. We're going to do Filipino food for him. LWO is going to have a whole segment because you got Zelina Vega, who's Puerto Rican. You've got Rey Mysterio, who's Mexican. You got Joaquin Phoenix, who is Filipino. We got so many different things in the diaspora to go into, and I promise you, Wrestle Eats is going to be a good time. But if you guys know some of the superstars' favorite meals, even if they're not WWE related, and you guys want to focus on wrestlers outside of the E, like Hangman Adam Page, or you want to do Swerve Strickland, or you want me to do Will Ospreay, or you want me to do anybody that you love and you think I can recreate their favorite meals, then just send them to me. Send me the meals. You can send them to me on Instagram. You can post it on the community tabs when I post the videos up there. Just put it in a comment. I will see it. And I'll see you guys next time. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. This was a Down for the Count and Psychdesigntvtoo podcast special. And we have Freestyle Wednesday towards the end, which I love that for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a big ass episode. A big episode. So if you watch it in the replay, you're gonna have to fast forward a couple hours. But look at Rico late. You're 3 hours late, 4 hours late, sir. I'm just playing. Anyways, have a good night. I will talk to you guys on Friday after SmackDown.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.